Well, howdy, friends and floorheads. It is Sunday afternoon, and I've been looking forward to playing this game. So, the most recent episode on Tabletop Talk is my interview with Jason Cordova and Alex, the people involved in making this game. It is based off the Brindlewood Bay engine. If you've not watched our current play running with Brindlewood Bay, highly recommend you check that out if you're into old ladies solving murder mysteries and then a little bit of cosmic horror. But this is a little bit different. We have reunited the what the second most popular cast on our channel. These four killed it with 8 episodes of Mothership, which is the second most viewed series here on the channel. So it's really good to bring everybody back with some new faces and some new characters. I'm going to go ahead and get started, though.
Wait, who's
It
beating us?
Forbidden Lands is
Oh,
the
yeah.
is the big one. Yeah.
We have a
Well
million
deserved.
episodes
They're
of
so
it.
good.
Yeah.
All right. It is 2004. And we are in the remote small town of Deep Lake, New Mexico. Now, Deep Lake and the surrounding Degoya County are an oasis in a very remote desert. The town has fewer than 5,000 residents, but the town's namesake lake, Deep Lake, attracts vacationers and seasonal hands in the summer, which more than doubles the number of people in town. You four met on an internet forum and bonded over your shared history because each of you spent part of your childhood in the late 80s and early 90s here in Deep Lake, and then you left. You were each latchkey kids and were, and still are, fascinated by the public access station called TV Odyssey. Now, all four of you remember the strange public access TV studio that broadcasted on Channel 94, reaching Deep Lake and some of the other towns in Degoya County. Anyone in the county could reserve studio time and create TV programs and broadcast them on Channel 94. There was very little oversight, and the station aired several strange, low-budget productions, including but not exclusively Happy Jack and the Lumberjack Friends, Voyages to the Astral with, with Lunaria Gomez, Poetry Slam, Gastronomica, and Daily Affirmations with David Tilbert. The station physically disappeared in 1992. The building just wasn't there one day. And after a short investigation, the official story was that it burned to the ground, even though there was no physical evidence to support that. To this day, no one in Deep Lake will willingly talk about TV Odyssey or any of its programming. Locals avoid the topic as if the station never existed. No one admits to knowing of any of the people involved in the programming. Now, impressed with undeniable evidence of TV Odyssey's existence, most locals give the official line that it burned down in the early 90s. The only physical evidence that TV Odyssey existed are what are known as the Odyssey tapes. These are VHS recordings of shows that aired on Channel 94. Now, these Odyssey tapes are recognizable. They come in very distinctive purple plastic clamshells. The paper inserts on these clamshells depict a Dayglow pyramid and Torii gates. These tapes are extremely rare and valuable to collectors of the strange and the odd. Now, you didn't know each other when you lived here in Deep Lake, but you found each other online and you intend to find out the true story of what happened to TV Odyssey. You are united by something else, though you don't realize it yet. Each of you suffered a terrible trauma in your childhood. Now, you're going to keep these traumas to yourselves until the game calls for it, and trust me, it will. After talking about Deep Lake and TV Odyssey online for about a year, the four of you decided to come here to Deep Lake for the summer to investigate the station and some of the other odd things happening here. You rented a house on Rod and Becker Street, together, the four of you. In this first week, you've had no luck figuring out what happened to TV Odyssey. Now, before we start our first morning together, I want to learn a little bit about these characters. So I'm going to start with you, Nick. Your character, Richard Haas.
Yeah.
When did you live in Deep Lake?
Lived in Deep Lake from 89 to 93, basically his high school years.
Okay. And you left. You've now come back, but in that meantime, you've become an adult. What were you doing before you came back here to Deep Lake?
Managing a struggling arcade business, which left him more time to browse the internet and be active on bulletin board systems than he was managing customers and business. So
You had the time.
he had the time. He had the time. He's a little too
So
deep.
you've got 3 items that take you back, that are nostalgic for you. What are those 3 items?
First one's 90s arcade games. When he was in high school, he was king of the arcade there in Deep Lake, and that's what's built his uh, personality going through adulthood. Is he was king of something, and he wants to live that again and be back at that. But that's all he focuses on. That was the
2
first
other
one.
items?
Watching cartoons, Ninja Turtles and X-Men.
Okay. And third?
Rest in peace. Rollerblading.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Now, you added 1 to one of your ability scores. So what did you give yourself a bonus?
Presence.
And presence, okay.
Oh no, I'm sorry. It's sensitivity. Sensitivity is the bonus one.
Okay, so you went from -1 in sensitivity to 0? Perfect. Now you have a latchkey move. We're gonna talk about that latchkey move when it comes up.
Okay.
Go ahead and mark your dawn questions. Those questions are gonna be the ones that we're gonna check in with at the end of the session to see if you had get, any closer to advancing. But now we need to populate the corner of the house for Richard. So I'll start with you, DZ. What is something that Richard brought with him to Deep Lake that he keeps here in the house on Rodebecker Street?
I think he's got a circuit board from an old arcade from Deep Lake. They were decommissioning one of the machines, and he was there that day, and he's like, is that junk? Are you throwing that out? Can I just have a little piece of that?" So they gave him a part of the circuit board.
Perfect. So a circuit board from
It's
an arcade machine
it's from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game, the side
that had
scroller.
they had the 4 controllers. It was a 4-player. I
Yeah.
remember that
Yeah.
game.
Oh, I love that game.
Oh yeah.
All right. Vaslav, what else did Richard bring with him to Deep Lake?
It's similar idea, but I'll put it differently. You have a pocket knife with a logo of one of your favorite arcade games. It might be the Asteroids. So it's like black painting, and over it is like just white highlights of the Asteroids game.
All right.
love
So
I
pocket knife.
didn't realize I wanted one of those until you described it.
Yeah.
Kyle, what else did
I'm on-
Richard bring with him?
I think he brought his soldering kit for whenever he was fixing up his arcade machines. So
Perfect. All right. So
Oh, you guys are so
now
good.
we're going to go down. We're going to meet Mr. Gerard Butler. DZ, when did you live in Deep Lake?
From when I was born to the day I turned 18.
Oh, wow. So you spent a lot of time in Deep Lake. Okay.
Yeah.
And since you left when you were 18 and you now have come back, what have you been doing?
Drifting. I have been wandering all over the country, living in different, mostly cities, mostly only for a year or two. Absolutely no plan for where I'm going or what I'm going to do until this moment, basically. And now this is even like, I'm just struggling to find like what my adult identity is or career or how I'm going to define myself, basically.
I'm not going to use any of that, just so you know,
Okay,
as your
great.
GM, as your keeper. All right. How about 3 items that take you back?
I've got UFO lollipops, those ones that are like 10 cents. I got a lot of those from the candy store down the street from me when I was a kid. Second one is ET Phone Home.
Like just the concept of ET Phone Home, or?
Yeah, that line specifically, but the
Gotcha,
movie
okay.
in general. And then the third one is Jonathan Frakes.
Okay. Excellent. What did you give yourself a bonus in? What ability score did you improve?
Reason.
Okay. And let's go ahead and help Gerard figure out what he brought with him to Deep Lake. I'm going to go in reverse order this time. We'll start with Richard. Richard, what did Gerard bring with him to Deep Lake?
I'm thinking a Starship Enterprise keychain.
Excellent. Cody, what else did he bring with him?
I'm drawing a blank. He's already got his lollipop, so I'm saying I guess there's a fresh bag of maybe an off-brand that isn't quite the same, but he's trying to explore.
Dum Dums?
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Some Dum Dums.
A bag of Dum Dums? All right, perfect. Vaslav, that's a really cheap lollipop here in the States.
Okay, okay.
You can only buy them in packs of 1,000.
Right, because literally, there's not currency small enough to buy an individual Dum Dum.
No.
Right. Or they're free at the haircut place.
All right, and last but not least, Mike, what do you think Gerard brought with him?
I think he brought a pocket-sized tarot deck. So it's a tarot deck
Ooh.
that he might have gotten from one of his acquaintances that he met in past.
Right.
Maybe somewhere else.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Perfect. All right, I need to learn about Mike. So, Mike, when did you live in Deep Lake?
So yeah, I'm a bit. It's a bit rough with the years, but I'm thinking Mike left around like age of 23.
Oh,
when
okay.
so a bit later than the others.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, he was full of it. There was no future for him in that town, so he wanted to make something different. And he always liked to read and write, so he tried to, let's say, make his future in one of the small newspaper. The newspaper is called The Morning Explorer, and he was always interested in. Well, he was interested in many things, but he was not writing about all the interesting things in the Morning Explorer, right? It was just the boring, mundane stuff. So he's eager to have the story to bring in.
Beautiful. All right, what are the 3 items that take you back, Mike?
So one of them is the Lone Wolf game book. So he was the cool kid, so he was not reading the fighting fantasy game books, but he was reading the Lone Wolf. So that's one.
That makes you a little bit cooler in my book. Lone Wolf was pretty awesome.
And then the TV show MacGyver, as we will see in a little bit, probably Mike was always interested in the gadgets and everything. So MacGyver was the inspiration for that, right? And I gotta have my favorite candy. So I don't know the brand, but I'm pretty sure you know the candy cigarettes, right? When the kids
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
cool.
God.
Candy cigarettes take you back. All right, beautiful. We need to figure out what Mike brought with him here to Deep Lake. We'll start with you, Cody. What is something that we think Mike brought with him?
I think he's got a really fancy pen that can work probably also as a flathead screwdriver.
Universal tool pen. I like it.
Mhm.
All right. How about you, Richard? What did you notice Mike brought with him?
He had a MacGyver style survival, like mini survival kit that's maybe the size of like an index card, but maybe 2 inches thick, and it's like attached to his hip. Like it's one of those types of things, like a belt holster survival kit. Kind of go in theme with the MacGyver stuff. So hopefully
like
can
it.
pull out a roll of duct tape when we need it.
All right. And Gerard, what do you think that Mike brought with him?
I was going to give him a space pen, but let's say he's got a handheld audio recorder for interviews.
Oh, okay. Perfect.
Oh yeah,
Perfect.
I have
The
that
Talk Boy.
already. I think
He's already got that as part
Oh,
of his
you already
latchkey
have that.
move. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I have the robot in disguise, so all the gadgets.
Right. Then
Give him something wacky.
you've got an authentic miniature, like 3-inch wide frisbee, one of those like super flingers that'll fly like 200 yards.
It's amazing.
If you throw it right.
That's perfect. All
Can I
right.
have nothing instead? It's brilliant. Love it.
It's like bright neon orange, so you cannot not see it.
It like shows through his jeans when it's in his
Mhm.
pocket. All right. Last but not least, let's learn about Cody. Cody, when did you live in Deep Lake?
90 to 91, I was on the high school football team at the time.
Okay.
Just lived there for 2 years, and then my family left.
And since you left and before you came back, what has happened? What were you during that period of time before you decided to spend the summer back here?
Quiet guy. For reasons unknown, has always been interested in ghosts, and these days he started a struggling blog about ghost hunting. So that's what he does in his free time. But he does web dev professionally. So
Gotcha. This is back when not everybody could web dev, so that's a big deal.
right,
It's 2004. All blogs are struggling.
right.
All right. What are three things that take you back, Cody?
So he's got a Detroit Lions number 20 jersey. Barry Sanders is his favorite player. Anything Ghostbusters. So all sorts of knickknacks from Ghostbusters, and he's a big Tales from the Crypt fan. So he's got
Nice.
comics from Tales from the Crypt.
Loves Tales from the Crypt. All right, Richard. When you finally met Cody in person for the first time, and you saw him unpacking his duffel bag, what did you notice that Cody brought with him here to Deep Lake?
Oh my gosh, so many things to work off of there. He had a no, that's silly. No, screw it. It's a signed manuscript from Ghostbusters 1 with all of the cast and Harold Ramis.
Damn.
Jeez, this
Damn.
guy's gonna be rich.
Gerard, maybe you went through his bag when he wasn't looking. What did you happen to notice?
I don't know if it's too similar. I was thinking like a custom made art print from like the artist of Tales from the Crypt of the Crypt Keeper,
Ooh,
like throwing a football.
very nice.
Maybe it's
Very
even
nice.
like a caricature of yourself, like you're like he's throwing a football to you.
Perfect.
That's amazing. Like went to some comic convention and he was
Yeah.
there and paid the $50. I love it.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely love it. And Mike, what did you notice?
It's pretty simple. It's glow in the dark handcuffs. Maybe they can handcuff a ghost. I don't know.
Okay.
They've got
Perfect.
runes on them.
No, they just go in the dark.
Okay, it didn't even.
That's it.
All right. So it's morning. It's been a frustrating week. You guys got settled. You know each other really well, but it's the first time the four of you have lived together, let alone seen yourself, in person. Who has appointed themselves in charge of making breakfast every morning?
Richard, he's the outgoing kind of. He'd probably be the one first up.
So, Richard, you're up before everybody else. You go into this hyper 70s old kitchen. And what are we making for breakfast?
Egos.
Okay. All right. So you go to the freezer. You guys, I think you went to the Lakeview grocery, kind of stocked up the place. So you're not eating out every day. And you go and you open up the freezer and you pull out the box of Eggo waffles. And even though it's been in the freezer, the box doesn't feel cold, which is weird. So you pull the box out and you open it up, and just the smell fills your nose. And as you look down at the Eggos, you can just see the green mold that's just gone through the waffle areas. Hasn't gone all the way into the recesses of each of the nooks and crannies, but your waffles are bad.
Good
Don't you dare
God.
cutting around it.
What the hell is this? So I go grab a bag and I try to bag it up so it gets the smell and the whatever out of it. I'm going to investigate the freezer and see what else is potentially bad.
Yeah, go back to the freezer. Freezer's nice and cold. I don't know what else is in that freezer. What else did we put in there?
Popsicles.
Check the popsicles. That's a good one. Let's check the popsicles.
Yeah, pull the popsicles out. They're just liquid.
Huh.
Who's the
I
next
checked-
person to get up?
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I could. Or you go ahead.
Nope, no, that works. I was just gonna say Cody's been up, but just been in his room.
So Cody,
Okay.
let's have you step out as Richard is getting frustrated trying to make breakfast.
Sure. Yeah. So I hear the commotion. I'm fiddling around with some like phone-sized tech in my hand, not really focusing on anything. But the odor does catch my nose as soon as I head downstairs, and I make an offhand joke about his quality of cooking.
All right, Mike and Gerard, you guys are up as well. Where's breakfast?
I guess it's at the diner today. If nothing's good anymore.
I don't know. Could we just? I'm not sure how much, like, how often can I eat at diner? You know, I don't have that much money with me.
My hand's already
I
on the doorknob.
can cover today. I have some money
Oh.
coming in, so.
Oh, okay.
But quickly, is stuff in the fridge okay, or is it just the freezer?
I don't know. What's in the fridge?
Bread.
Bread is moldy.
Okay.
Is it? I will immediately go and try to check it. Is it like I try to plug it on, off and on again from the electricity? I will check the compressor on the bag if it's like hot, so it's cold inside, and
So
I will just
we have Cody's on the way to the diner,
Yeah.
and we've got Mike pulling the fridge out and starting to take it apart. And Mike,
Actually,
go ahead.
I'd finish this first.
No, go.
Okay, I was just gonna out of curiosity, I had like a box of crackers in the pantry, like not anywhere near the fridge. I'm gonna check that too.
So you pull the crackers out, and it's still sealed on
Yeah.
top. But as you pull it out, you realize, and you can see where they got even through the cardboard. Some sort of rodent or something must have come in under the bottom of the crackers, and it just the crumbs just start spilling out onto the Formica counter.
This house sucks.
But what about this fridge? I'm pretty sure I can fix it. And as I see the people are leaving the room and I'm starting to be alone with the fridge, I just catch up with the rest of the group.
Yeah.
All right, so let's cut to the diner. Lakeside Diner. It's the only diner in Deep Lake. Traditional, good old, used to be a mobile home, but now is a diner. At some point, I'm sure the chrome outside of it was gorgeous and it reflected the light, but now almost every edge of it is rusted. You get in there, it smells like it hasn't been cleaned since you left Deep Lake, but it's good greasy food. Four of you sit down. Waitress comes over. She's obviously in her early 60s, but with the makeup and the hair and the amount of cleavage she shows, you can tell she's trying to appear to be maybe in her early 50s. It's really, she's trying hard. God bless her. Reeks of cigarette smoke. And the four of you order. While you're waiting for your order, somebody approaches you. It's a kid. Well, not really a kid. He might be in his late teens, but he potentially could be in, as old as maybe his early 20s. He's got kind of this faux hawk thing, blonde hair thing going. You can see a scar where he had a cleft palate. Very baggy clothes, kind of a military style jacket that is ill fitting. He's got several fake silver chains with different symbols on it, crosses and pentagrams and all just kind of weird stuff hanging around his neck. On his hip, you can see he's got like a knockoff MP3 player with a set of headphones hanging off of it. And in his left hand, he's got a skateboard. And he goes, "Hey, are you the guy that are like asking a bunch of questions? Like all around town, like you're asking a ton of questions.
Suppose we are.
Mm-hmm.
Are you like CIA or secret police or something?"
Just him.
Well, you could-
And I point at Cody.
Well, great. Secret's out. Thanks.
So you're like
You are
detectives?
the cop. You can't lie.
And I get out a little notebook and pen and say, "Can I get your name?" to this like 20-year-old kid.
So he kind of looks around and goes, my name's Cody Wilcox.
Oh, we share names. We're twins.
So can I sit down?
I immediately just scoot over.
Yeah,
I don't
and
even like
he wasn't
ask.
waiting really either. So it works out that you made room for him because he was coming in. And he kind of slides in. He sets his skateboard down on the floor there, and he goes, "If you really, I want your help because there's something I've been trying to figure out for a long time. And if you guys are really detectives, and if anybody can figure this out, it's probably you." So I had a friend when I was a kid. His name was Elliot. And you see, Elliot lived down the street. He lived over on Escondido Street with his mom and his dad and his sister. And I used to come over to his house all the time, and we would play with GI Joes and look at comic books and stuff. And he was a good buddy of mine. And just one day, like he vanished. Him and his whole family just like are gone. And for like 10
Like
years,
they moved away from the town, or
nobody knows because like the car was still in the garage, and like they didn't like take anything with them, but like they just left, right? And like nobody goes to that house, like, and sometimes when you're trying to scare your little brother, you'll tell him like it's a haunted house, and like everybody died in there, like Mike Myers came and killed everybody and
yeah, right.
ate their hearts and stuff. But like the
You
place
haven't
has
seen
like
Halloween, have
really
you?
bad energy. You know what I'm saying? Is that the kind of
Bad
stuff that
energy?
you guys look at? Do you guys like investigate that stuff?
Cody's eyes are wide. He's just heard opportunity.
Yeah, sounds like the CIA's purview. What year was that?
Let's see. I think it was 1994 when I went over to Elliot's house and I knocked on the door and nobody answered, and then the police came and
So you were the first person to notice
well,
that they were missing.
yeah, I guess I was. Yeah, and he
Meta
hasn't
question.
written or nothing.
When you asked your other friends, they know anything more about this, or just nobody knows?
Nobody hears from him. Nobody hears from him. Nobody knew nothing.
Meta question. What year did TV Odyssey disappear?
TV Odyssey disappeared in 92.
Okay.
So Cody, have you been to this house since then? Have you tried to walk in, or
That place creeps me out. I don't even like going to the lawn. The place creeps me out. All right, so we have our first mystery. So the way this works is you guys will have a question that you're going to want to answer. And you're going to want to gather clues in order to be able to answer this question. Here is the question. What happened to the Rapoports? What happened to this family? It's complexity 6. So that's what you're working against as you start gathering and justifying the clues to answer this. Now, the opportunity, if you answer this question, is you can resolve the mystery by revealing the truth to Casey Wilcox. And if you wish, you can destroy the house on 18 Escondido Street, or even perform a ritual to banish the evil that resides inside. So if you answer the question, it opens up those opportunities for you.
You said Casey Wilcox is Cody Wilcox, right? Or is it different?
Yeah, I messed it up. Yeah, it's Casey Wilcox. Not Cody.
Just
I was looking at Cody on my screen.
yeah.
Well, ignore
So
that
we
bit
will
about
answer
having
it to the
names.
kid, right?
Yeah. So you want to reveal and answer that question to Casey to answer what happened to the Rapoports.
I've got a latchkey move I'd like to use.
Okay.
Normally I do this at the.
What's the move?
It's the truth is out there.
Okay.
And I normally this would be at the beginning of the session. I forgot, so I was waiting between scenes. But someone who knows what happened to TV Odyssey is helping you behind the scenes. The latchkeys immediately gain an Odyssey tape when you take this move, a gift from your mysterious benefactor. At the beginning of each session, the mysterious person leaves something for you where you can find it, say what it is, or ask the keeper to say what it is. It functions as a clue, but isn't attached to any particular mystery. You can use it for an active mystery or save it for later.
All
And the
right.
keeper can reveal the identity of the helper during the Odyssey mystery.
Perfect. All right. I will weave that in,
Okay.
DZ.
All right.
So Casey gets up and he goes, so are you going to go to the house?
It's just right around the corner, like you said.
It's actually on the other side of town. You take Maine to crazy Smith's house. Don't go onto her yard because the dog will bite you. And then you take a right outside of that fence and you go all the way down after you take the right on Main, and then at the very end of the cul-de-sac, that's Candido Street. It's number 18. You trust me, you're gonna know which house it is.
You got that, Cody?
Yeah, I show my little notebook. It's like, look at this map, huh? Pretty impressive.
You forgot about the dog. Like it was under, there, like to put the dog there.
Casey actually
Yeah.
grabs the pencil out of your hand, Cody, and the piece of paper, and he goes, "I said take a right," and he
Oh.
erases.
Thank
It's
you.
okay.
Thank
We somebody has a laptop at the house, and it's the future of 2004. So we have MapQuest now. If we get lost,
Yeah, I have a laptop.
But we don't have a
of course I do.
printer.
I have it in the,
that's
actually,
true. We need a printer.
Yeah, we don't have a printer.
nobody knows how printers work, right? That's why we
That's
have
true.
like the online blogs today. Like nobody prints stuff. Jesus, man! Like learn the new technology.
I'm sure they'll have it figured out in 20 years.
So you guys have a great breakfast. Finish up, and let's have you swing back by the house that you're renting, maybe before we head off to Escondido. We have Gerard walking up to the house first, and there is a no question under construction. It's definitely gonna be a dot matrix printer. On the doorstep, on the stoop, right in front of the front door, is something that wasn't there when you left, and it's wrapped in brown mailing paper, and it is addressed to you, Gerard. There's no return address, but the stamp and cancellation tells you that this was in fact mailed, and it looks like it's been not only all around the country based off of the different cancellations on the postage, it may have been around the world.
Okay. Should we take a look? I brandish it at them as I'm walking inside, and I'm already unwrapping it.
So is that from your secret girlfriend? Huh? Let's see what it is.
From Canada.
Yeah, that's why it has
She goes to a
Canada
different
stamp
school.
on it. Yeah.
So you get inside, and Gerard, you untie the twine, you cut the twine, and then you start ripping the brown mailing paper away, and all four of you stop in your tracks because you see the VHS purple clamshell that is now in Gerard's hand. You see the insert with the TV Odyssey logo. And Gerard, when you look at the spine, it says, Happy Jack, The Lumberjack and Friends, Episode 2.
Is that that's the thing, right? I mean,
Yeah,
oh,
this is one of them. I was kind of hoping for daily affirmations with David Tilbert, but I'll take it.
but come on, man, you have to think.
I know,
Like-
I know. No, I know what I'm doing tonight.
Are we sure it's the real deal? Like, I mean, if we
Nobody
What-
makes
what-
these. Nobody makes these. You can't get a fake one.
so if we try to play it now, it should show nothing, right? It should
give it
work
a
only
shot if you
during
want.
night. Yeah, sure. Let's do it.
I've never
I'm
I've never
curious.
seen one before, so I'm going off what y'all have told me.
I'm actually curious. We have to try it. We have to try it before we go on the trip. Let's
Sure. Yeah, hand it over.
Yeah. So
I'm already
I
turning
would
the
try.
TV on, the VCR, the whole nine.
So, and luckily, Mike brought a VCR just in hopes that you guys would actually find one of these legendary Odyssey tapes. People have talked about like finding them out online, but you know, you've always doubted the pictures that you've seen and the stories that you've heard, and you know, the titles of the shows like sound vaguely familiar, but your memory of the programming is that it was just weird and you couldn't stop watching it. But when you try to remember like actual names of the shows, it's kind of foggy. But when Gerard read off that name, you're like, oh my God, I totally remember that show. And you remember it was a puppet show. So
Oh,
Mike,
good.
you take the Odyssey tape, you put it into the VCR, you hit play, and the static on there, and we see Mike messing with the tracking on the VCR to try to get. And there's no picture, no, it's just pure static. It's a slightly different color than the static had before you hit play, but there's no audio coming out. There's no video. So the legends that you've heard that this can only be played at night could be true.
We'll definitely give it a good smack or two, like from the top of the TV
Yeah.
to make it
Or
work.
is it rewound? You got to rewind it first. It won't play on its own. You got to make sure it's rewound. Is it rewound?
Oh, it doesn't. Well, yeah. Let's try to
Oddly,
rewind it.
Richard, as Mike is messing with the fast forward rewind, and he pops the tape out and looks, and it's at the beginning, and he pops it back in, he hits play for like, 3 or 4 minutes, fast forwards it, pops it back out, it's still at the beginning.
Hmm.
So it is rewound and will not play.
Did you blow on it?
Well,
That's Nintendo cartridge.
Those
Oh,
are cartridges only. Yeah.
yeah, like
Come on.
just come on. I thought you know this stuff.
I guess we'll come back to it.
Okay, but don't leave it in the house.
Right.
Just we take it with us, right? We don't leave it
Yeah.
in the house.
Who's going to carry the Odyssey tape?
I got a messenger bag. I'll carry it.
Okay, so Gerard, you slide that into your messenger bag. Gerard, one thing you did notice was the address was made out to you, to this house. Oddly, if the postage cancellations were correct, this
Yeah.
was mailed before you guys even booked the house.
Yeah.
Second thing is the handwriting is familiar to a handwritten note that you got at one point from your secret contact. So it's obvious to you who sent this,
Oh yeah.
how this person knew you were going to be at this house at this time.
Yeah. I'm not even going to process that right now. I'll wrap my head around that as I'm lying awake in bed.
All right. Do we cut to Escondido Street?
First, I'm calling the
Yes.
landlord because we're getting this fridge fixed. This is insane. We paid money for this place, and they should be taking care of the refrigerator.
Get
Richard,
some rat traps too.
you pick up the landline, you dial the phone, and it goes, "Doo-dee-dee-dee. This number is no longer in service. If you think you've reached it in error, please dial 0.
0?
Oh, it's a rotary.
Deep Lake
it's still an
operator.
old one. Yeah, I'm looking for A1 leasing. I don't fucking know what it is.
Do you not have a phone book?
Shit, you're right. I'm sorry, ma'am. I'm so sorry. I hang up on her. I start looking for a phone book.
And you find one. You find a big phone book. It's for all of Degoya County. And A1 Leasing, which is the real estate agency that you guys arranged to have this house.
Because it's the first one in the phone.
You
book.
rented. Yeah, oddly, the first listing is for B4 Leasing.
You know.
You go to the invoice that was mailed to you for the down payment on the house, clearly with logo and everything, A1 Leasing, with the phone number, which is where you grabbed the number to call.
Is there an address other than the rental address? Of
There
the
is.
business?
There is an office address.
Is it in town or is it
It's in California.
Californians? All right. Well,
Can we
we
get a
might need to
money
get some
bag
ice.
at least or something? Oh.
Yeah, we'll have to figure that out. But we're going to need to get some ice and some.
Yeah.
It was,
Let's get a
we gotta-
cooler on the way back.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
you
okay.
guys head to Escondido Street, and just as promised by Casey, when you get to this cul-de-sac, you see these ranch-style homes, very typical for this part of New Mexico. Some older than others, but there is no. You don't have to look at the mailbox. You know which one is 18 Escondido Street because the lawn is dead, and you can see set back from the street at the end of the driveway. You see a ranch-style home and it's painted like this weird like camo puke green with this discolored yellow trim around the windows and on the sides. The bottom third of it is brick and then it's cheap siding up above it. The roof falling apart, old and unattended. The stone brick there, and the entire yard is dead except for these ponderosa style pine trees, which are really tall pine trees that have no branches for the first like 15 feet, and then they branch up and have the pines. As you walk up, I want to paint the scene. You start passing some of these trees as you start walking towards the house, and there's something about the trees that make you think that the evil in this place is tied to the land. What is it that you notice about the trees, Mike, that make you go, somehow I think the evil that might be here has something to do with where it is, the land itself? What do you see?
So on the tree, I see that there are like cut off strips of bark, like bark is missing on the tree, and they seem to be like in a pattern, like maybe just in a circle around the trunk. So there are stripes of bark missing on the tree, and it's really weird because it seems really that there's this pattern, like somebody like carved it out a little bit.
You see it on that first tree, and as you're walking, you notice on the second tree also bark that's been stripped away, but it's not precise like by a knife, right? It seems almost natural, but it is distinctly a pattern, and the pattern's different from tree to tree. How about for you, Cody? What do you notice that makes you think maybe if there is evil in this house, it's tied to the land?
So around the bark that is there, it looks like dry skin from the sap. There's that white yellowy film around it, and it's just off colored in a way that doesn't look quite natural.
Gerard, what do you notice?
Uh, at the base of almost every tree is at least one dead rodent or bird that they like, and they all look fresh. They don't look like they've been there for a while. But at the same time, like grass has grown up around them, so it's like,
How about
are
you,
they new or
Richard?
old?
The exposed roots of the trees have this growth to them, and the texture can only be described as like corn on the cob. Those nodules, those, and it's the same size, but it's every exposed root has that texture throughout, so it doesn't look like the roots of a typical tree. There's something growing on it, and it's got a sheen to it and kind of gross looking.
So as you guys approach, you get to the front porch. You can see there's a pretty big backyard behind, though you obviously the house is blocking that backyard.
Cody's the first to kind of walk up to the house, not even thinking twice about any risk or fear. He's already peeking through the windows, seeing if anything he could see in there.
So
Just
the
to paint
gla-
the picture, as you're approaching, it's like, Cody, wait, we need to archive this, and I pull out the camcorder, just like, yeah, go ahead, got it, got the audio, let's go.
Can you run back? Can we do that one again?
Calm down, Major.
So Cody, you get up to the windows, and the front door is about a third. The top third of the door is like latched window. It's all one pane of glass, but it's got kind of like that cheap cheap wood on it that makes it look like it's multiples. And you kind of do this, and there's like a fog, like the glass has gotten foggy, right? Like by age, and you're trying to see, and it's dark as hell in there, and you kind of go over down like off the down on the porch a little bit more to one of the side windows, and you can't. It's either too bright outside or it's too dark inside, but you can't see anything.
I more or less explain that to everyone else, and I say, well, there's only one way we're going to be able to figure out what's going on in there. We go in. Am I right? Am I right?
Yeah, we go.
And that's what
Definitely
we're
we
here
go
to
in.
do.
Richard says absolutely. He whips out his pocket knife with the Asteroids logo, and he starts trying to jimmying the lock, trying to get into the front door.
I turn the handle.
And it is unlocked. As you turn the handle, pushing Richard out of the way.
No, I just reach like stretch past him. Like, hold on, Boy Scout.
And just as the seal on the door starts to break, you hear a voice behind you. Can I help you? Your heads whip around, and she's uncomfortably close for not knowing she was behind you. There's this woman. She's got like this helmet styled blonde hair that you could probably bounce quarters off of. She's got a striped polyester blouse, oversized cheap jewelry on her fingers and in her earrings. And she's standing there with her arms crossed. Can I help you?
Maybe.
He's detective, and I point to Cody.
Yeah, detective.
One little joke, and suddenly I'm
is he a
CIA
detective or is he a
agent.
CIA agent? Agent.
I don't think the four of you are supposed to be here.
Hi, ma'am. How are you this morning? It isn't still the morning, afternoon.
Yeah, late morning, early afternoon.
Okay.
How am I? I'm annoyed. That's how I am.
I just look to the other guys.
What's your name?
I'm Patience Head. I'm the head of the HOA here on Escondido Street. And I know that the four of you don't belong here.
Oh, we did a mistake. We didn't call you ahead of time because our landline in the building was cut off, and so we are here to basically, we're from the news as well, so we are going around the small towns and looking at the old buildings and the mysteries that are happening. We're very sorry that we didn't give you heads up on this, and we would love to interview you for this, what happened here and what's this about. It's really fascinating to us, and it's kind of our hobby, so that's why I have the camera.
I need to be very clear. Section 4, Statute 772. If you wish to do any level of reporting or news programs related to, in and or about a home on Escondido Street, you are to reach out to the head of HOA 2 weeks in advance with a letter notifying us, at which point we send you Form 77444. And once you have filled that out and returned it, we can decide whether it's approved or not. But you mentioned wanting to interview me.
Yeah, definitely that would be the part of the report.
Well, like on camera, or would it just
be on
print?
Camera? It's like we could, like, I turned it off now, of course, because we were breaking the rule, but we could set up a nice place, good lighting from the window, and we could get you.
We'll bring lunch.
An interview.
We'll bring lunch.
I need a medal, not a meddling move. I think this is a day move, Mike. It's a day move, and let's see here. What are we gonna do here? We're gonna do a day move, and I think, tell me if you agree. I think this is definitely presence. So a day move with presence. What are you afraid is going to happen if you fail?
Well, if I fail, she will still want the interview, and she will try to kick us out. Like, do both things.
So she will
do the interview, but don't even get the.
Okay.
Yeah. We do the interview, and we get nothing for it.
So this game is based off of the Powered by the Apocalypse system. So what's going to happen here is Mike's going to roll 2d6, and what do you have in presence?
0.
Okay, so he gets no bonus to this roll on a 1 to 6.
Wait, I thought you had a default +1 to presence, like everybody.
You should. Yeah, if everybody has a default.
Oh, really? Because on the character sheet,
I I took my 1 in presence instead of
Gotcha.
reaching.
Okay.
I had that backwards.
So on a 1 to 6, it's a fail, and I get to make a move. On a 7, 8, or 9, you are going to be successful, but not quite the way you thought. There'll be a consequence tied to that. On a 10 or 11, you're good, and then on 12, you get a bonus. So let's roll our 2d6. So you're going to go ahead and click on the day move, choose
And I
presence.
was presence.
We have a success with an 8. Oh, I'm not ready though. How about this? How about this? I'll come back. I just, this is no good for camera. I think the lighting would be off. I don't think I'd look real good in this.
Well, I think you look lovely even in those, but I understand if you want to look your best.
Stop it. She pushes your shoulder a little bit. So, I'll be back in a couple hours. And she kind of looks around. She goes, look, if you guys want to just go in, you know what? I'll just fill the form out for you. And I'll just bring it.
But
You guys can sign it. Is that okay?
that would be great. That would be. We're so sorry we didn't do this in advance. I'm pretty sure we can make up for it.
Yeah, no,
Thank you
I gave the form to Richard. I thought he filled it out, sent it back.
you know Richard, so
All right. So, Mike, you have a condition.
Okay.
Condition is the affection, patience.
Fascinating.
So how does that work out?
You'll see.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's your condition, the affection of patience. So what may happen is there may be a future roll that Mike needs to make, and if I feel that the condition hurts his ability to succeed on that roll, he will be rolling that in as a disadvantage. Patience, heads off. The door is cracked open.
When
Cody.
you push the door open, how light is it inside?
It is not. In fact, the light from outside barely makes it into the house. You notice some dust that must have come from the very top of the door, kind of snow falls lightly down as you open the door. It's been a while since someone's opened this door.
Anyone got flashlight? Like I said to say, but I don't.
Yeah, Cody's already kneeling down, going through his backpack full of stuff. He gets out what looks functionally like a game of Tecmo Bowl, but is what he describes as a ghost finder. It just beeps.
Oh.
It doesn't actually have any true function, but he swears up and down it works. So,
Okay.
How many ghosts have you found?
Tons, just countless. Just
Okay.
you
Great.
just last Thursday, my last post. You should check that out online. I found so many. So he just starts stepping in. He doesn't have a flashlight, but he's
Well, actually, I think right next to your little ghost finder, you have a little pen light if you want.
sure. Okay, I've
Oh,
got that
something
right
useful.
next to it.
Yeah, Richard has one of those
You know-
keychain lights, which is just a single LED that you snap together. And
LED, what's LED?
that was
Yeah.
back then, wasn't it? Yeah,
Come on.
It was a small. No, it was a small. I think light bulb ish.
is that what it was? Okay, maybe it wasn't LED, but yeah, it's those little light bulb ones.
I've got a Zippo lighter, but it might be.
You know what Mike will do? I have the fancy new camcorder. I will switch on the night vision that turns it like high gain sensitivity, so that the screen is shit and black and white, but I can somehow see
Okay, perfect.
something.
You guys step in. Everybody's got light, and you walk into what is obviously some sort of a TV room. There's a huge maroon sectional couch over on the left-hand side, an entertainment center that takes up the entire wall, all made out of very like cheap particle board, you can tell, but it's got like this like plastic sticker on it to make it look like it's real wood. You see a huge tube TV, like it, and when I say huge, I mean it might be 32 inches.
Ooh.
Below it, you see a VCR, and I think Cody, you noticed that it's blinking 12 o'clock.
Their
I need to
power?
paint the scene. As the four of you look around, how do you know this was the most frequently used room in the house?
I can still see the imprint in the recliner of where whoever sat there the most. It's just heavily imprinted.
Yeah, in fact, I think you see like the four cushions of the sectional. You can tell where each of them, right? That you can tell that where the father must have sat because of the size of the indent on the old cushion. You can see the wife did not sit near the husband, and you can definitely tell where the two kids sat on it.
More crumbs.
Sure, yeah, and crumbs in scattered on top of the cushions themselves. Richard, what do you notice that makes it clear that this was the most frequently used part of the house?
You see those imprints in the carpet that are like the carpet's completely flattened and worn that go around the couch, but up near the couch where feet usually don't get it's brand new, thick, full height carpet. So it's just completely worn in those pathways.
You can also see it's worn from the couch to the TV and back, so there's been a lot of back and forth with the TV as
Gotta
well.
change
How
the
about
channel.
you, Gerard? What do you notice?
There's in the line of the indentations in the carpet. There's near the couch, but like a couple feet away, is perfect circle of area where the carpet's been pushed down, but there's like just embedded dog hair, where like that's the spot where he curled up. That's where all of his fur was deposited. They didn't even bother vacuuming it up anymore because he's just gonna replenish it.
Losing battle.
Yeah.
What do you notice, Mike?
So on the light switches that are next to the doors, you can see there is a lot of like grease from hands. So they were originally probably white, but you can obviously see the area that was touched the most, and it's real nasty.
I thought you meant the family was probably white for a second. I'm like, New Mexico, probably, yeah.
So, Mike, you noticed that, and it's obviously they ate in this room too when they were watching TV based off of the grease stains that you see on the thing. And you notice the blinking VCR light, and just instinctively, you flick the switch, to turn the lights on in the room, and no lights come on.
I'm
The
sorry, who's by
VCR.
the VCR?
So you see the blinking light on the VCR, and then Mike has just flipped the switch to turn the lights on in the house in this TV room, and they don't come on.
I guess they didn't pay the bills. Oh.
Well, how's the?
There's
I mean,
power somehow. Yeah.
I just hit the eject button.
Yeah,
On the VCR.
he beats me to it.
Yep. Nothing pops out, but it makes the noise. You can hear the gears, but no tape comes out.
I'm gonna push the little flap up.
It's empty.
I'm going to try the actual lamps because I think back then the switches were on wall switches. So I'm going to try to turn on lamps.
You go and do the tour of the lamps around the sectional couch on the other side of the room by the entertainment center. Nothing's turning on. The only light in this room is being provided from what you brought with you and the blinking 12 o'clock.
Does the TV turn on?
TV does not turn on.
Cody, is that VCR plugged in?
I just immediately find my way around it in the back and grab the power cord and to see if it is or not.
It's plugged in. It's plugged into the wall.
Unplug it.
Yeah, I accidentally unplug it as I'm fishing around for it.
You yank the plug out. It stops blinking.
Plug it back in for me.
You want me to get back there? All right.
Oh, I thought you just nicked it. I can do it. I have small hands.
Okay,
I
Trump.
get
So
up.
you take
Yeah.
you wrap around, you plug it back in, and it starts
Okay,
blinking 12 o'clock again.
I'm gonna take the tape out of my bag.
Okay.
And we missed part of my latchkey move earlier where the person leaves a helpful item that functions as a clue. So if with your permission.
I'm doing that actually strictly as the TV Odyssey. You got the super bonus on the
Okay, I got you. Okay. So this tape counts as a clue for a mystery in addition to being an Odyssey tape.
Potentially.
Okay. Yeah, well then I'm gonna try to put it in.
Okay. So you put the tape in. It goes, comes down.
I hit play.
I need a meddling move.
Sure.
And I think I want that meddling move. Let's use reason.
Okay.
So once again, meddling moves
I used
is
to
when
have a
we are
meddling.
getting a clues, right?
Potentially. Go ahead.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
sorry, DZ.
I thought I added the meddling move to basic moves. Now I don't see it, so I'm just
Okay,
gonna
hold
roll.
on. I can
I'm just
fix
gonna roll
that.
reason.
Hold on.
I had 2 nostalgic moves, so maybe one of them got overwritten or something.
That's possible. So let's go ahead and you should now see the
There she
meddling
is.
move.
Okay. With reason.
All right. So you're kind of fiddling with this thing, right? And you're hitting play just like at the VCR at the house. You're not getting any type of screen, but in fact, there's nothing coming up on the screen at all because the TV's off.
Yeah.
But it hits play and the little counter, the timer is showing you the number of seconds that have gone by on the tape, and you hit stop and hold on, I got a spam.
Wait, this is a promotion. You're not. Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
think of the money I'll make.
Yeah.
And unlike the VCR at the house, you see the numbers clicking by, right? And you hit eject and you pop it out and you look, the tape has not moved, right? It's still completely rewound. You keep popping in and you popping it out. But as you're spending all this time with this VCR, you see that there's something scratched along the top of the VCR, that somebody has like etched something on it. And you kind of look up and you look at it, and it's a sequence of numbers that somebody has carved into the top of the VCR. So that's going to be your first clue, is a sequence of numbers scrawled on the VCR. Now, something key about clues. I'm not going to talk about what those numbers are. If they're going to use this clue, they're going to determine what those numbers are and whether those numbers are meaningful or not when they do the ask the question move. But for now, we know it's a sequence of numbers scrawled on top of the VCR.
Gotcha. Huh. You want to? I don't have a notebook. Cody, do you want to write this down?
Yeah, shout it at me. I'm already like in the hallway.
Okay.
But
All right,
yeah,
forget it. I'll just remember it.
Now let
We've
me
got the
record
camera.
it. So we
Record it.
will.
Sure.
Yeah, I will put it on the camera,
Okay.
then we can look it up later. Like if I have
Yes.
enough batteries.
So you put the camera on there and you kind of take a quick recording of those scrawled numbers. And the consequence is, as soon as you record the last number and hit stop on the camera, the consequence is that the VCR turns off.
Oh, fuck.
Yes, we got a new VCR. I take it, and I'm going to carry it around on my arm.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not leaving my tape here.
So still plugged in, power button doesn't seem to be working. You unplug it from the back of the wall and you pull it out of the entertainment center.
Just yank it from there and put it in
I'm
the sensor
gentle.
You know, Richard's
well,
going to
can we-
grab one of the smaller lamps and try to plug it into that
Yeah.
same port to see if it works.
Yeah,
So-
smart move.
Yeah, you take the lamp, you put it in the exact same outlet. It was plugged into the top. You plug it into the top, click, 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 no light. You plug it into the bottom one that it wasn't plugged into, the VCR, click, 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 nothing.
It must be
Nothing.
the breaker. We need to find the breaker and try to fix it there. I'm pretty sure that when the VCR was working and now it stopped. I guess the
Oh, did it
just a
trigger?
few
Yeah,
stopped.
maybe.
Yeah,
That could be.
yeah.
The real
Okay, so I
crappy
guess
breaker,
the
but
breakers were in the somewhere
garage,
downstairs, garage,
or basement.
Yeah.
Or sometimes a bathroom.
Yeah. It could be anywhere, depending on when the house was built in the 70s. Is that what we know?
Yeah, it looks like it was built maybe late 70s, early mid 80s, somewhere along those lines. Definitely, one-story ranch, could have a basement, hard to tell. Wouldn't surprise you if it did. But as you're kind of messing with things, Richard, you do notice a picture of the Rapoports. You can see little Elliot there. He looks to be about 9 years old. Standing next to him is his older sister. And you see the husband and wife, and it's taken out front of a much nicer looking version of 18 Escondido Street. You see all 4 of them there.
I'm gonna put that in my backpack. The picture.
Okay. You take that framed picture and you put it in your backpack.
Why does it feel like we're just burglars now?
I don't know. You're stealing
mean-
electronics, personal items.
You don't have to take a whole VCR. Nobody would
Well,
care.
hey,
Well,
if you want to get the tape out of it, then we don't need it.
The Rapoports need to be here to charge us with that, so I don't think we have an issue right now.
okay. Okay, so I have a proposal. I will try to find the breaker. I will go to the cellar probably. It will be there. And I will, okay, Richard, take this walkie-talkie. So you know how this works, right? So I
Love
give you one.
walkie-talkies.
Yeah, so I give you, just listen, I give you one. And when you are talking, you hold the button. And
Hold
then
it.
you release it because, yeah, but if you don't release it, I can't answer, right? So you will just say a sentence, then stop, and then release the button and wait for the answer. And meanwhile, I will have the other walkie-talkie. I will look for the breaker, and I will call out like when I do something, you try to turn on the lights. You got
Okay.
it?
Got it.
So
I look at
hold it,
everybody else
please.
and I go, I've seen Airwolf before.
Yeah.
I
What
do
is this
my thing.
fascinating technology?
Yeah.
Just
Are
it
you
was
from the
expensive. Just
future?
be
Oh,
careful
okay.
with it.
Will do.
Mike,
Will do.
beyond the TV room is a hallway, and as you start down the hallway, you see a door on the right-hand side, which is by the width of the door, you can tell this is not a door to a room. So instinctively, you just open that door and you see stairs leading down. So if you're looking for a basement, it appears that you have found one.
Okay, I got a basement, so I'm going down.
So you start down the steps. I have just Mike going down. We've got Richard staying up top with his CB radio. What is Gerard and Cody doing?
Well, since Cody got pushed away from the VCR, he's just been wandering the top floor of the house, kind of looking at his Tecmo Bowl, trying to actually talk to Elliot this whole time, assuming he's a ghost. That's just what he does. He's like, Elliot, you around here, bud?
We're definitely gonna need a meddling move. So I need a meddling move from you, Kyle, with sensitivity, please.
Okay. How do I get sensitivity? So I click the meddling move.
And then
You
it
should
should,
ask.
sensitivity should be one of your options.
There it is. Okay.
So you're looking down at your little Tecmo Bowl thing, and you're yelling, "Hey, Elliot, Elliot, hey, buddy," you know, and there's no answer. There's no anything. You get to one part of the TV room, and it feels a little colder than the other one, and you kind of go back and forth between the cold spot, but the cold spot's not there the next time. Maybe you're just making stuff up in your head at this point. But yeah, you're not picking up anything. How about Gerard? What's Gerard doing as we're investigating the basement with Mike?
I'm trying to use my Starship Enterprise keychain as an impromptu screwdriver to take apart the VCR
So
to see if
we have
I don't have to take the whole VCR home with me.
so Gerard is now sitting cross-legged in the center of the TV room. He's got the VCR
Yeah.
on the ottoman there, and you're starting to unscrew. In fact, I think the back of the Enterprise keychain pops out, and there's a flathead screwdriver there, and you're
Awesome.
unscrewing it, starting to take the VCR. Doesn't take much. The top comes right off. There's the tape. Everybody has done this before when the VCR is being a jerk, and you're able to manually pull the little plastic gears, and slowly the videotape rises and comes back out of the machine, and you're able to whew,
Yeah.
pull it.
I'm being very delicate.
You pulled the tape out, and
Hold on to that top panel too with the numbers scratched into it. That might
Oh,
be worth
sure.
holding on to.
Kind of sharp, but
let's cut to the stairs of the basement. Mike, as you start to head down the stairs, it's been dark in this house. Sunlight is just not making its way into this house, but somehow the basement feels darker. It feels like your light isn't shining as far, and it isn't as illuminating as much as it was in the TV room. You can smell sawdust and rat droppings. And you get to the bottom, it's a concrete floor. The basement appears maybe to be about a third of the size of the floor plan of the house. All over are stacks of U-Haul logo boxes, cardboard boxes with U-Haul logoed on there. In one corner, you see a fake plastic Christmas tree that's been completely taken apart and just kind of stuffed into the corner of the basement itself. Mike, I need you to help me paint the scene. There's something about the basement that makes you think the kids were terrified to come down here. What is it?
It might be there is a stack of the cargo boxes that when looking from apart and in this darkness, basically, they look like, they make this kind of a, like one box is missing in between and you could crawl through. And it seems that no light is getting through or nothing, even with the camcorder night vision super thing. Like there's just a black spot where there should be a hole.
This inexplicable defiance of light and shadow are happening, right? You move the light to try to, and you just cannot seem to penetrate that darkness and that space among these U-Haul boxes. Richard, you're not down there, but can you help us paint the scene? What is something about the basement that makes you think the kids were terrified to come down here?
The level of like the environment changes once that door opens to where you get this humid, moist, like hit of air, and you just feel it, and it's sticky and it's creepy and it makes you sweat, and it's just totally different than the other side of that door.
And Mike, you've only been down there maybe 20 seconds as you started investigating this thing, and you can smell the BO starting to come from your armpits because it's just swamp down here. You're sweating. You can see the stains on your shirt start to form around your armpits. Gerard, what is it about this basement that makes it clear that the kids were terrified about coming down here?
It's one of those basements that inexplicably, for no reason, you have to go all the way down the narrow, creaky stairs and walk 5 steps into the room before you can turn a light on. And it's a light hanging from the ceiling that, like, if you're a young enough kid, you can't even reach it without like jumping. So the only way, if they had to come down here and get something, they had to walk into pitch blackness and then jump around to try to even get light into the room.
What's even crazier, I think, Gerard, is that you can tell when you look at the string that goes up to the naked light bulb up above,
Yep.
you can see that someone had cut it. So it's frayed. So it may at some point have been long enough for a kid to reach it, but there's no way a kid could reach it now. How about you, Cody? What makes you think that the kids were terrified about going down here?
I think the one thing that so Cody's at this point wandering around, and he might at this point be at the top of the stairs, and maybe he's already hit one of the stairs that has one of those horrible creak sounds that just keeps you from wanting to go downstairs. But it's not just a creak; it almost sounds like a growl or a groan. And he hits that, it's like, "Urgh," and rather than going back up, he just trots very, very fast downstairs. Probably almost runs into Mike.
Well, actually, I think a couple things happened. One, I think Mike almost jumps out of his skin, right? As soon as that noise, because that noise was not made when he went down. Maybe he missed, maybe he skipped a step. I don't know. But it startles you, Mike. And Cody, as you reach to the bottom of the steps, and Mike, as you turn around, there's a stack of U-Haul boxes that prevent Cody from getting out of the stairwell and prevent Mike from getting back to the stairs.
See what's in
10 minute.
between
We're going
us?
to take a between you, and it wasn't there when Mike made his way in. So let's take a quick 10-minute break. We'll be right back. So, Cody, you can't see anything beyond these cardboard boxes. You can't see Mike. You can't see Mike's flashlight. All you see is just these U-Haul cardboard boxes. And Mike, the sound of the stairs is what forced you to turn around, and you realize that where you came in is now just a stack of U-Haul boxes.
So who was on the stairs? Was it
Cody.
Cody? Cody, you there on the stairs? Is that you?
Can I hear him?
Mhm.
Yeah, it's me, bud.
Yeah, it seems. Are you pulling a prank out on me? Like, did you put the boxes there while I was looking for for the circuit breaker?
I was gonna ask you the same thing. Looks like you're playing Fort in here.
I'm, I'm. Come on, guys! Don't do this to me, Richard. Are you behind this? Like, come on.
Richard gets on and goes, Mike, I don't know. he screws up.
I was waiting
He's
for
so
that.
confident, but he screws up.
You got him. You got him.
I can't do this, guy.
We gotta give Mike a second.
You broke me.
Oh man.
Okay. Okay. I will. Mike will go back and try to see what happened. Try to move the boxes. Try to look around it. Cody, can you help me with these? I didn't do it. What? This is nonsense. Like, just let's make way and look for the breaker together.
Yeah, so Cody responds, yeah, sure, I'll give you a hand, but he's really just checking out the blinking red light on his Tecmo and he's still talking to Elliot. Are these your boxes down here, bud? As he's like very half-ass pushing the boxes around, not really looking at where they're going.
All right. So even with the half-ass help, Mike, let's do a meddling move as you start to move these boxes out. I want it with vitality, and because of Cody's half-ass assistance, let's do that at an advantage. So mark the advantage button before you roll. We're gonna take your two. You're gonna end up rolling 3 die, and then it's
So
gonna.
meddling, so advantage, meddling, and vitality, right?
Yep.
Let's do this. Well, okay. That's
So
fine.
the first box that's just above eye level, you pull that box out and you can tell it's empty, right? So you pull it out, it's empty. You kind of toss it to the side, and you can see that naked light that's at the bottom of the stairwell with the string hanging down there. You can see the top of Cody's head. You go for the second box. It's heavier. Like it has something in it. And it takes a lot more effort. And Cody, you're pushing on it as soon as you realize that Mike is struggling with it. And Mike, finally you get it. It's super heavy. You set that down. You start to clear these boxes. Some feel that they're empty, some don't feel empty.
So is the way clear now?
Yep.
But I rolled 6, didn't I? Isn't it 7 plus?
I got you, bud. I got you.
Okay. A bit confused there. Thanks for the help, Cody. That I really appreciate it. What's going on? Like,
You tell
You
me,
could have
Fort
helped me.
Builder, what's going on down here?
Did you find the breaker?
no, like Cody is pulling pranks on me. I don't know if it can be heard, but okay. Let's go and find the breaker. Let's go in. Help me find the breaker. Like, let's walk around the perimeter, and first to find the breaker, we'll call it out.
So Cody and Mike, you guys are kind of going around the basement here and finding it. And you finally find this thin tin door, breaker door is kind of like this off green color, and it's not even latched, so you have no trouble pulling it. And you can see all the breakers and everyone. God bless Mr. Rapoport. He was an organized man. He's got masking tape that marks each one of them. All the breakers have been flipped, and each one's marked so you can see backyard pool, kitchen, dining room, TV room, master bedroom, Elliot's room, Abigail's room, basement. And then you can see, like washer, dryer, so on and so forth. But they've
They're
all been
flipped
they've all been they've all been flipped
to the off or on side.
off. They've
See
all
that?
been triggered.
Okay.
They all broke.
Okay. Richard, are you there? I will try to do the breaker and check the lights if they work, right? So I go with the TV room. Let's give it a try. And I flip the switch for the TV room.
And it gives you a little bit of resistance, but it gives that clunk. The breaker, yeah, like clunk, and it clunks. Richard, you're up there flipping the lights. Nothing.
Nothing. I respond, yeah, nothing's going on over here. He's
don't
way
have
too
to
close to
eat.
the mic.
Okay, let's try the kitchen then. And I will flip off the TV room and try the kitchen then.
All right. Are you gonna head to the kitchen then, Richard?
Yeah, I'm following the.
Make sure to
Yeah,
hit
so
the
you go.
master switch too.
Oh yeah, I knew that. Definitely I knew that. I also will do the master switch.
And you flip the master switch and you go to the kitchen. You're waiting to hear from Richard. Richard, you head down the hallway and you get to what is essentially a small kitchenette. It's got like wooden bar that separates the island between that and the dining room. It's got just like the staircase spindles that separate there. There's oak cabinets with formica counters. Everything is this bizarre yellowish green color, but it's all coordinated to Mrs. Rapoport's credit. Paint the scene for me, though, Richard. Based on what is left out here and in the kitchen, and you can see into the dining room, what makes you know what they had for dinner the day they disappeared?
They had for dinner the day they disappeared. There's a moldy casserole dish on a lazy Susan in the middle of the dining table.
Yeah, and it's moldy because the casserole is still in there.
And then
Cody, what
there's
else do you think? Go ahead.
table for four and plates and just ready in an
Yeah,
odd.
all set out. Cody, what else does Richard see that gives him a sense of what was on the dinner menu that night? Casserole. What else?
Uh, let's say some meatloaf, huh? Let's plate full of meatloaf. Maybe not full anymore, but picked away by the rats.
Yeah, in fact, it's untouched by the rats, believe it or not. Richard, you
Ugh.
see,
That's
um,
worrisome.
yeah, you
Yeah.
see a platter next to the casserole dish, and you can see a 2/3 of a loaf untouched. There's a knife that was used to cut the loaf that's still there, and the plates that you mentioned all have pieces of meatloaf on them. Based on the portions, you can kind of guess like which one was mom and dad's and which ones was Abigail's. Cody's had already been cut up into small pieces for him. Maybe mom did that for him. It unlike the casserole though, not at all moldy or rotten. It almost looks like it has been cut maybe right before you came in. In fact, you get a small smell of cooked meatloaf coming from the kitchen. Gerard, what else does Richard see that gives him a sense of what was on the dinner menu the day that they left?
I think they had like a salad serving bowl as well that it's been portioned out. You can see like the trail of like vinaigrette on, and dad got like a small portion as much as he would tolerate, but he ate it. Mom had a larger portion that she ate. Cody's has not been touched, and Abigail's is
Or
probably
Elliot's, you
also
mean?
eaten. Or but yeah, Elliot. Sorry,
Yeah,
Elliot's has
we want to
not been
name
touched.
everybody.
I
Everybody in
know,
Deep
yeah.
Lake is named Cody.
Yeah, it's Deep Lake Cody edition.
So it's
Elliot,
untouched. Elliot did
yeah,
not touch his.
yeah.
I think the only thing I'll add to that is like the meatloaf, the lettuce, the cheap iceberg lettuce looks fresh, much fresher than anything that was back at the house where you guys were. The only thing is that all of the salads, the tomatoes are rotten. So even though the rest of the salad, the shredded carrots and everything look fresh, the tomatoes are all rotten. Last but not least, Mike, what else do you think Richard sees that gives him a sense of what they had for dinner the night they disappeared?
Well, probably there was something sweet. I might need a little bit of help with this, but probably some kind of Twinkies, I believe, at that time, or some
Those should
like,
be
yeah.
perfectly
I think these
preserved.
are old enough. Yeah. So there was just next to the dish where the meatloaf was pre-cut because it was mainly for the kids.
Well, and Mrs. Rapoport has done trying to fancy up dessert as much as she can. She's got 4 little butter plates that she has set out, and she's got each Twinkie cut in half and kind of like staged on each one of the things. So we're not just going to give the kids Twinkies in plastic. This is going to be a plated dessert that we're going to serve tonight. But it doesn't look like that ever got served. So Nick, Richard is in the kitchen, and you let Mike know. Mike, you flip the switch.
Mhm.
Clunk. Richard, you go to the chandelier light, just darkness. And the
Yeah, Mike.
light smell of meatloaf.
There's no light on. Oddly smells like meat, but no light.
Is your Does your left arm feel numb? Is your vision okay?
He grabs his right arm, goes, "Yeah, it's fine."
Okay, let's just. I don't know. I'm going up. It seems it will not work. And before I go up, I switch on the rest of the switches just for
Yeah.
to try it out myself, and I will try to leave the basement and join in the kitchen probably or in the TV room. Depends where we meet
So you
up.
come up to the steps. You and Cody. Cody, are you staying down in the basement, or are you going up with Mike?
So while he was flipping on switches, I was opening up boxes.
Great. So
Thank you.
you start opening up boxes. Let's go ahead and do a meddling move with reason. So you start opening the boxes, and I don't know why you opened one of the light ones first, and it's exactly what you expect. You slice it open, you open it up, and it becomes totally empty. Um,
Oh, they're taped?
oh, they're taped, they're sealed.
Interesting.
And you get to one of the heavier ones, and you kind of tear the tape off, the packing tape off, and you open it up. You're not quite sure what to expect inside there, right? It was heavy, like it maybe had an appliance or something in there. But when you open it up, the only thing you see at the very bottom of this tall box that comes almost to your chest, you're gonna have to lean the box down to reach down and grab this. It looks like, as you shine the light down there, looks like maybe it's a photo album because it says Summer Camp '93, kind of written in marker on the cover.
So maybe as Mike is kind of like walking behind my bag, I'm just like, don't mind if I do, and I pull it out. And it's just with the flashlight in hand, I'm starting to flip through it. But hopefully he's still in view.
Yeah, so you open it up, and I don't know, maybe it's the juggling of the light and everything, and you don't really have anything to set it down on yet. You kind of open up and immediately gash the inside of your hand
Uh,
from the first page. So we're going to give you a condition of paper cut.
Perfect.
All right. So you look at this family album, and it's entitled Summer '93, and you open it up, and god damn it, you gash the inside of your hand, but you notice the first page empty. Flip it again. Second page empty. Third page, fourth page, and it's one of those photo albums that has like the sticky cellophane where you would peel it up and slide the pictures in and peel it back down. It's older. You can see that the plastic is starting to curl. The glue-ish thing that's used is turned yellow on the pages itself, and you can see like the little strips where it's been applied at the factory. You get to the last page though, and there's one single picture on the last page of this photo album entitled Summer of '93. And it's a picture Cody, of either a dead animal, the night sky, an empty hospital bed. Which one is it? It's a picture of a dead animal, the night sky, or an empty hospital bed. You tell me.
I think a dead animal makes sense because of the trees out front.
Okay, let's not decide what the animal is, but
Sure.
yeah, it's a picture of a dead animal. So this is your second clue. This is a photo album, summer of Camp '93, empty except a picture of a dead animal.
Elliot, it looks like your summer trip was filled with all sorts of fun, and I'm sucking on the wound, like licking that up as I put the photo album back in the box and kind of kick it to the side.
I presume I was like watching this when I saw that
Yep.
that he was going through the things, and I heard him to cut his hand. So what? Why would there be photo album only with one picture in the end? It's a bit strange, don't you think? I
I
mean,
mean,
do
I
you
think
have?
it's stranger of the animal, right? I mean, I can't remember how many photo albums I've got at home of just dead animals, right? That's not really something like right next to like the picture of us, my whole family. It's, oh, here's a rodent just mutilated.
Yeah. Where did you find it? I was like next to the breakers, and then I saw you like going through. I wanted to say family albums, but obviously not.
Yeah, I found it in one of your fort boxes.
You mean my 4 boxes? Uh,
And I am gonna assume that Cody either that wasn't the second box he opened and probably wasn't the last. Here's the one thing that's odd, Cody, is despite the fact that the boxes are different sizes, the ones that feel empty are empty. The ones that feel have a weight to them, it's inexplicable because they are empty as well. So as you now have gone through probably 2/3 of these boxes, you finally realize these boxes are sealed and empty except for this one box you found that had this photo album in it. I'm going to cut to the TV room. Gerard, you've gotten your Odyssey tape. You've put it back into its purple plastic clamshell.
Yeah. If we're moving on past, nothing happened when all the breakers got switched. I'm gonna head out in the backyard.
Okay. So you work your way past the kitchen. You see Richard there with his flashlight as he's kind of looking at all of the dining room and kitchen. And you
I
walk
don't smell
straight back. It
anything.
goes, I'm sorry.
I don't smell anything, Richard. I'm a little worried about you, and I leave.
Okay. There's a very cheap aluminum screen door. The back door is open.
Huh. Okay.
But you
Screen
can't
door
see it
locked.
because the screen door is closed.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I'm open that.
So you open the screen door and it opens out to a backyard that I think you anticipated to be a little bit larger than it was based off the lot. You realize that really this house was built very far back on the lot itself. The backyard is not that large. You do see a swimming pool though. It's a small swimming pool, maybe the best that they could afford. There's at the very bottom of it, a kind of a shallow layer of like mucky green water. You can see uh, the vegetation and nature starting to reclaim this this pool. You've got faded and cracked sombrella style furniture that's around the pool itself, and there are planters that kind of like section off the pool from the rest of the backyard to kind of create this little area, the swimming area. They've all been overturned and broken. And you can see the dirt that has spilled out from each of these planters. There doesn't appear to be any plants left, even dried up. It's just these broken planters and with the dirt spilled out. But I do need you to help me paint the scene here, Gerard. So the Rapoports enjoyed one last day of fun in the sun before they disappeared. What do you see around here that shows that?
Oh, the towels are all piled up on one of the folding chairs, like
So
haphazardly thrown on after they hopped out, went inside for dinner.
perfect. Perfect. Mike, what else does he see out there that tells him that the Rapoports took advantage of this pool for one, what they didn't realize at the time was the one last time before they disappeared?
so there might be rests of some maybe towels lying around, or maybe just some swimwear when they changed back to their regular clothes. But it's weirdly just lying out there, like
Yeah, I think
rotting probably now. Yeah.
I think you see some swim trunks, which may have been Elliot's by the size of them, and you also can see maybe where Abigail was playing. You can see a couple Barbies that were there. Maybe Abigail didn't like to swim. It's hard to tell, but it looks like, while the family was taking advantage of the pool, Abigail maybe was next to the pool playing Barbies on one of the tables there. Richard, what else does Gerard see that tells him that they took advantage of the pool that day?
There's a still inflated inner tube that has a uh, unopened can of Coors Light in the little cup holder.
Yeah, and it's fashioned like a donut, and it's got like a little insert where the beer is, and you can see the beer can in there, and it's kind of floating on that murky water down towards the bottom there. Gerard, last but not least, Cody. What else does Gerard see?
So on this glass table outside, there's a big container for sun tea, half full, really dark, but 4 glasses next to it.
And you can see the tea bags are at the very bottom of this, and to exactly like Cody said, it's like it's been brewing for 10 years. It is just this dark thing. Really should have evaporated at this point or been filled with rainwater at this point. It's odd. And you can see that there are the 4 tea glasses, and 3 of them are empty. One is still full, and it's got like a kid's plastic squirrely straw sticking out of it.
Okay. There's there's a lot going on here, but for some reason this pool, it's built into the ground, right?
Yes, in ground.
And it has a shallow end where
It does.
does the water go all the way up to the shallow end, or is there
Not
some
anymore.
Okay. Something, I don't know why, but something compels Gerard to like hop down into the shallow end and like carefully, in case it's slippery, but like walk down to the bottom and like take a close look at the murky water. Not exactly sure why or what I'm expecting to see.
This is gonna be 2 moves. We're gonna start with a night move. So we're gonna do a night move. I want this to be with vitality. What are you afraid is gonna
Okay.
happen if you fail this roll?
Oh, I don't want to slip and like break my arm or something.
So you're afraid you're gonna slip if you fail?
Yeah.
That's gonna be worse than that. So not only are you going to slip and fall, but the incline where you slip is gonna slide you into the water. You're not gonna be able to stop that slide until you are submerged in what's left at the 8-foot section of this.
So there's enough water there that I would be completely underwater.
Completely submerged. Yeah.
Okay.
You might take a gulp or two.
Let's go ahead and do our vitality move. Or our night move with vitality.
I feel good about this.
That's just a clean success. So you get down there and like your heel gives out a little bit, and you touch your toe down and stop right before you hit this murky green water. You can't see past the surface of this water between the growing algae and just the green murkiness, but I'm going to have you at roughly like at the 5-foot deep area. That's where the water starts.
Okay.
And let's go ahead and do a meddling move. Let's also do that with reason.
Love a meddling move.
Bring out
reason.
those stats. Oh.
So I'm
we
going
need
to
some
remind
clues
our
here.
players real quick of a mechanic in the game, which is turning a key.
I was
With any
just
one of
thinking that.
these rolls, what they can choose to do is they have a limited number of keys, and if they turn those keys, they can upgrade the roll 1 level. So in this case, this miss on the meddling move would become a success with consequences. Do you want to turn a key?
Kind of.
You don't have to tell me which one. You just mark it and tell me you
Okay.
turned a key.
Okay.
So let me know when it's marked.
Got it.
So you're at the edge and you don't want to touch this water. So you maybe squat down a little bit, staying on your feet though, not letting any other part of your body touch the bottom of this pool,
Yeah, may I?
please.
There's like a pool cleaning like racket thing
Perfect.
or like a big net. I just grab like not the net side, but the other side. I'm just poking around in the water.
So you poke around, and all you're feeling is the bottom of the pool, right? As anticipated. Really a little unsettling because as you pull the pole back, it seems like this algae growth is coming with it. It seems to like this end of the thing, and it's almost holding on, giving you a little bit of resistance as you pull back and continue to poke at this murkiness, and then you hear kind of a and you realize that there's something maybe about a foot and a half farther down, and you take this pole and you pull it back, and you pull out of this murky water a hallway mirror that has been shattered. The glass is still inside of the frame, and you suddenly remember as you were coming down the hallway where the sun had not faded an area because it had been covered. It's the exact same shape as this hallway mirror. So somehow a mirror from the hallway has made its way to the bottom of this pool and it's been shattered. So that is another clue for you. It's a smashed mirror.
Hmm.
Consequence. Do I know you? Your head turns up and you see a very handsome man standing at the deep end of the pool up there at ground level. He's in a brown sheriff's uniform with a big Western style sheriff's hat. Can't be 30, 31 years old, square jaw, neatly trimmed beard.
Hello. No, probably not. I don't know. I guess maybe.
Yeah,
I'm
son,
I'm from here. So, what's your name?
are you a Rapoport?
No, not here, not the house. I'm just from Deep Lake. Obviously, why wouldn't you assume otherwise? I guess.
Well,
You,
if you're not a Rapoport, I assume this is not your house, right? And you're here in
no,
the pool and you're breaking mirrors at the bottom of the pool. So I
but
need a little explanation, son.
I'm break anything. It was broken already. And like
Yeah,
I
I'm
don't
sure it
think
was.
they were using it anyway. But no, I'm not breaking in. We have permission from Patience, Patience head.
Oh,
She's the HOA. Just
oh no, trust me, I know who Patience is.
yeah.
So
Well,
you're telling
okay,
me Patience gave you permission to
yeah.
come to the Rapoport home, to go into the pool and pull mirrors out of it?
I mean, she didn't say all of that, but we're
Son, I'm gonna need
we're
you to get out of the pool, please.
yeah. No, of course, obviously, yeah.
I need a day move. I need a day move. I'm gonna let you tell me what is what is Gerard gonna use here?
Presents,
Yeah, yeah,
my
you try to charm
specialty.
him.
If you can't tell.
I forgot to ask you what afraid what's gonna happen if you fail, but it doesn't matter because you straight up succeed. So you
It is
come
a
out of
success, but
yeah, you come out of the pool, and the the consequence is the mirror slides right back into the pool. So you can go ahead and remove that clue for me.
oh, at least I know it's there. Surely, go
Step
get
out of
it.
the you step out of the pool and you go, all right, so let me get this straight, son. He keeps calling you son, even though you're obviously the same age. Let me get this straight, son. So you're telling me, well, all right, so you got permission from Patience, which is fine. I'll check
Mm,
with her on that. By the way, Bill Hankum, Sheriff Deep Lake.
It's really nice to meet you, Bill.
Yeah, it's a pleasure meeting you. I don't understand why you're here. So you've got permission. I think that's fantastic. You still haven't explained to me why you're here.
Yeah. No, I have a friend who's also with me. There's 3 other people inside.
Whoa,
Just
whoa! And
so
he
you know.
reaches. You see him kind of
No, no,
like not
I'm th-
threatening, but reaches for his gun. He's kind of. What do you mean? There's other people here?
we're a group of investigators. My friend runs a blog. And we just
What's a blog?
it's sort of like a newspaper, but I, I, you know what? I'm not actually totally sure. I think he could. It's like a newspaper,
So you're reporters.
sort of. Well, I would say investigators.
Like I know what investigators means, but I don't know what the hell an investigator is. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. Do you have any ID on you?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Uh,
Well, probably.
I often have ID on me. Hold on, I'm fumbling.
Often have
Uh,
ID on you. Okay.
It's just I pull out I try to pull out one ID. I pull out two on accident because like from my last state that I was lived in, and then the previous state, like they're
Do they have the
stuck
same
together.
name on them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Everything's right.
Okay.
My weight changes over time, but yeah,
All
I
right.
hand
Yeah. Let me have that. So he takes his hand off his gun. He takes the ID from you. What state is it from?
Idaho.
Idaho. Go. Well, there's a long way to travel here for so what would you say investigators? For investigators to come to Deep Lake.
Well, honestly, this is sort of a hobby. I'm here for something else, but
Going through people's pools is a hobby?
investigating abandoned houses is a hobby for some people. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna need you to come with me. So we're gonna go back to the car here. I'm gonna run this ID real quick.
Okay.
So why don't you come with me? Your friends are in the house?
Yeah. I mean, that was the last place I saw them.
Okay.
It's
Do me a
possible
favor.
they went out front.
You stand right here,
Sure.
and when I look at you every time, you're gonna still be standing here.
I have nowhere to be right now.
Okay, good. So he's gonna come to the back door, and you guys can hear the screen door open. He goes, hey, who else is in here?
I imagine Richard's the closest, right? Because he's in the kitchen.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And Richard starts walking towards the screen door.
You stay right there. Stay right there. What's your name?
Richard? What's your name?
No. I'm the one asking questions right now. Richard, did you have a mom and a dad? Do you have a last name?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I don't
all
know
right.
who you are, sir.
Yeah, I'm the sheriff. I'm the one asking questions. Richard, what's your last name?
Craig, I forgot my character's last
Haas.
name. Haas. Thank you, Jesus. Richard Haas.
Okay, Richard Haas. Okay. Yeah, Richard.
What
Right
was your
here
name,
says
sir?
you guys are from Idaho.
Not
No,
me,
just
sir.
me.
Where you got some ID on you, son?
I do. Are you the sheriff?
No, I dress like this and make pastries. Yeah, I'm the goddamn
Okay.
sheriff. Let me see
You
your
didn't
hands.
identify yourself, sheriff. Your
I'm
name?
the one asking questions. I need less question marks from you. I need to see. Let me see both those hands, please.
Yeah. Hands up.
Okay. Put the hoodie down.
Yep.
All right. Here. Why don't you go out here and join your friend Idaho back here? And why don't you hand me that ID on your way by?
Gotcha. What was your name, sir?
Sheriff. You can just call me the sheriff.
Does he
He
have a name
did tell
tag
me
on?
though. What was it?
He did. It's Bill Hanscom.
Bill Hanscom.
Hanscom?
Yeah.
Um.
Bill Hanscom, the handsome sheriff.
Yeah.
All right.
Do you hand him your
follow.
ID?
Yeah.
Okay. He takes your ID, looks at it. What state's it from?
California.
California. Oh, fancy pants California boy. Go stand next to Idaho for me. I'm told there's two more people in here. What's their names?
Yeah. Mike and Gerard.
Okay.
No, I'm.
You want me to get them for you? Or Mike and Cody. Jesus.
One time we couldn't remember Cody.
We
So
used up all the Codys.
he gives you wide berth, doesn't want you getting within 6 foot of him. He lets you walk past or go stand next to Gerard. You go, I need a Mike and a Cody to show themselves. He's got like just only 1 foot in the house.
Cody contemplates hiding in one of these boxes. In fact, he kind of starts nudging him against the wall a little bit,
What's Mike do?
looking at Mike.
We
Did he announce himself as a sheriff, or did we hear the conversation?
He did in his tone of voice.
Oh, well. But we didn't hear him maybe downstairs when he was talking to
Yeah,
Richard, right? Did we?
I'm told there's a Mike and a Cody in here. I need the two of you to show yourselves.
Cody
they go out
nods.
Okay, I'm going to need 2 night moves. I'm going to need first a night move from
You
Cody.
fucking idiot.
Cody, what are you afraid is going to happen if you fail? Let's do this with, I don't know, Cody, what do you think you're going to do this with?
Composure, maybe.
That makes total sense to me. So let's do a night move with composure. What are you afraid is going to happen if you fail this?
He's gonna find me.
Yeah, it's actually going to be worse than that because not only is he going to find you, but he's probably going to shoot you.
Perfect. Wonderful. Yeah. Night move. There we go.
Oh, nailed it.
All right, I need the same thing for Mike. Mike, I need a night move. We've got one with composure. What are you going to do yours with?
I was thinking composure as well because
Great. What are you afraid is going to happen if you fail?
That we're going to jail, but probably it's also that he's going to shoot at
No,
me.
I think it's going to be worse than that because not only are you going to go to jail, but if he ends up shooting Cody, he's going to pin it on you.
All right. Okay. But if I fail, he shoots Cody, right? That's something. So I will do a night move with composure.
Point of order.
Please.
Okay.
Well,
so he gets to the top of the stairs, and this is after looking in the TV room. He's looked in the bedrooms. He finally gets to the top of the stairs, and he yells down. He goes, "This is the only place left. So I figured the two of you were down here. You coming up or am I coming down?" So he comes down the steps. We hear the creak. But you don't see him. You're hiding, kind of like peeking your head around a little bit to see. You hear the creak, right? And there's a stack of U-Haul boxes at the bottom of the steps. Oh, shit. I guess they're not down here. Heads back up the steps, hits the creaky step again, gets up to the top. He heads back out and he finds you, Richard, and Gerard there by the pool. Look, where are your two friends? The house is empty.
I left him. They might have gone out front.
Yeah, they might have.
Okay.
We're here. We've been here the whole time.
All right. We're all going around front. So let's all go around front. Let's go to the, I need you to go to the squad car with me.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's going to make sure the two of you are in front of him. He walks up.
I'm giving Richard a like, where are they? Look.
Yeah.
Did you see them leave?
No, I did not see them leave. I didn't see him come, or I kind of, no, we're too close to the sheriff. I won't say anything.
Yeah, that was just implied with my like.
So it takes a couple minutes. He's calling in both of your licenses and running both of your names. Cody and Mike, you hear he's gone. He's closed the door to the basement.
Stay quiet. I turn off my Tecmo Bowl.
It won't turn off.
I fiddle around with the on-off switch.
The red light. So the way, explain to me how this works, right? So you have like a red little light, like in a world that Cody lives in where this is a true ghost detector. How would Cody know that there's a ghost? I want to get a sense of what this little thing works, how this thing works.
So it's really just the power button or the power switch that's the red light.
Got it.
And occasionally he's seen it flicker. So
you go to turn it off. It doesn't turn off. You go to turn it off again. The red light turns green, which it's never done before.
Yeah,
need-
Cody lets out an audible like gasp / wow sound.
I need a night move from Cody. I need it with composure.
Oh my god, it's happening.
Yes. It's half excitement. Oh,
Oh,
no.
yeah, you got to give me time to ask you what's going to happen.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
That's right. But so you're able to keep your stuff together. You don't actually squeal out loud. That was going to be the if you fail, you're going to make a noise so the sheriff hears you. But it immediately turns back to red again and turns off. I need you to add a condition.
Oh boy.
The condition is
Second paper.
this thing actually works.
So I whisper out, Elliot?
Why don't you give me a meddling move? I want a meddling move with sensitivity.
Can I? Maybe it's too much. Just an idea to throw out there. Since I have also voice-activated recorder, so I was thinking to do the same when I see the lights and I see like he's doing it. I would pull out the recorder and press record and ask Elliot if you're okay with it. Kyle.
Beautiful. We'll let you do a meddling move as well. So let's do a meddling move with sensitivity, please.
Should I tell you what my fear is of what?
No,
happens if I
that
fail?
doesn't. You're not in danger here. So this is not a
Okay.
day or a night move. So you're in good shape there.
So I do meddling with sensitivity.
Yeah. So you call out, trying to talk to Elliot. No luck. But Mike, you turn your camera on, and you're trying to record. Now, give me a sense of what we're doing here exactly. What are we? So you hit record.
It was the not camcorder that I have, but I also activated the audio recording device. It's voice activated thing that records the voice if something would be somebody would be talking, for example. So it's voice activated recorder.
Got it.
So I would, Elliot, are you in here? Are you here?
So you
repeating.
listen, and you're not hearing anything, and you're kind of moving the camera around, right? Cody's completely focused on his now turned off Tecmo Bowl, right? You're moving the camera around, and I guess it's easy to miss stuff, right? It's dark. You've got these little tiny light sources. A lot of shit's been going on. Boxes keep getting piled up between the stairwell and the entrance of this thing. Not in a box. Up against the far wall, you see what you immediately recognize as a stack of comic books.
I'm guessing I wouldn't see this right now because this
Not
is through
yet.
the camcorder. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
So I will try to. So they appear only on the camcorder, but I cannot see them.
Well, you first see them on the camcorder, and then immediately causes you to look up and shine the light, and they're showing up also in real life. So what you're seeing through the camcorder is the same as you see through your naked eyes, but there's a stack, and it's a pretty high stack. It could be 30 or 40 comic books.
Well, I will Dakota. Just hold this for a second because I have too many things in my hands. So I will give one of them to Cody, and I will try to reach for the comic books. And
So
take
as
one
you're
or two.
doing that, Mike, and you're handing the stuff to Cody, and you're just kind of fumbling, like really weird, these comic books, I need you to go ahead and mark one of your items. It breaks as you are doing all of this. So that's going to be your consequences, is one of your items in your corner of the room breaks.
So I just hit the checkbox, right?
Just hit the checkbox. You're not going to be able to use that.
I guess the camcorder. I think that's fitting. Although
So I love it. You hand the camcorder to Cody. Cody, trying
My
one
hand's
hand on the,
bloodied. It just slips.
and it falls onto the concrete and just shatters in pieces. Not even worth picking up.
You know how much money that costs?
You know how to do a handoff?
I mean, like, there's a guy who wants to kill us, presumably. I don't know who that was. Our friends are away, and green thingy on your thingy, and I was thinking like comic book, and then I give you, uh,
At
get
least
a
say
tape
hut hut
from it at
hike
least.
next time.
Yeah, well, I didn't want. Oh, fuck it. Just get the tape. I will get the comic book at least.
So yeah, bloodied hand. I mess around with the camcorder, try to get the tape out.
So you have no trouble getting the tape out because it's on the ground. The problem is that the tape is broken, like it's shattered into pieces. So you get over to the comic books, Mike, and they are all like Love Destiny, Archie. They're all, non-superhero, non-action adventure. They're all love story, love detective stories, Archie comics. And you grab a couple of them, you start flipping through them, and in the margins on the first one, second, third, fourth, as you like going through this, you see cute little messages written. And by the handwriting, you can tell they're written by two different people, almost like they're written to each other, like they're talking and passing messages on the margins of these comic books. So this is now what would have normally been your fourth clue, except we lost the mirror. So it's actually your third clue, which is a stash of comic books in an unusual place with cute messages between two people written in the margins. Again, the way the clue system works here, you can determine who wrote those and what those messages are later when you go to answer the question. Back outside, sheriff steps out, slams the door, Richard hands you your ID.
Thank you.
He goes to hand it to you, Gerard, but doesn't let go of it. Goes, you move around a lot, it looks like.
Yeah, I do. Is that a
Look,
crime?
well, I'll decide that. I'm gonna go check with patients, make sure that the two of you are supposed to be here.
Sure.
You find your other two little friends in the bushes or something like that. Tell them that I'm gonna need to talk to them too. You're sure that when I go talk to patients, that she knows that you're here and that you have permission to be here?
Mhm. Yeah, she's just filing the paperwork and stuff.
Okay. How long you guys plan on being here in Old Falls and Old Deep Lake, huh?
We had, I mean, our rental is for 2 weeks. We're at the end of week 1 right now, but we might stay longer.
At max, the end of the summer is all we have time for. But yeah, we only have plans for 2 weeks at the moment.
And what happens if you run out of abandoned houses to investigate?
It seems
Sheriff,
like there's plenty.
we're from here, Sheriff. I'm sure you saw that with our background.
No, I didn't see anything about you two living here in Deep Lake. When did you two live here?
I
You
looked at
really
his
didn't?
I looked at his name tag on his. It's Bill Hankum. Is
Yep.
that right?
Hanscom.
Hanscom.
Mr. Hanscom, Sheriff Hanscom. Are you related to William and Douglas Hanscom?
Yeah, they're my cousins.
Fun story. I played a 2 versus 2 NBA Jam arcade game against them at the World Tournament or at the city tournament at the local arcade here.
I need
So
a day
I know your
move.
cousins.
I need a day move. Actually, no. I want this to be a meddling move.
Meddling move.
I need a meddling move from you, and I need this with composure.
With composure.
Ooh, very nice. Very
He's on
nice.
fire.
He goes, no shit.
Yeah.
Now, have you seen him since they went to state penitentiary, or?
Oh no. Oh,
Together?
Sheriff, I didn't know that was the case. No, I left here in '93 after I graduated. My dad was a military guy, so I moved every 4-6 years.
So you knew nothing about the fake quarter dispenser that they put in the machines and they were stealing the quarters. You knew nothing about that, is what you're telling me?
No, I'm actually an arcade owner now, and I've been got in that manner as well. I get these little fake silver discs.
Yeah,
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 it's
yeah.
atrocious. I hate what's going on, and this youth needs needs some morals and ethics nowadays.
Yeah, interesting though, isn't it? That my two cousins go to jail for scamming an arcade, and the old buddy that they used to hang out with is running an arcade these days, and just kind of happens to show up here in the first year of their internment. That's odd. That's a
The booming
coincidence. That's a
industry.
coinky dink, don't you think?
Call it what you will, Sheriff, but you know we're not your enemy, sir. We've got roots here, and we're here looking at old houses and doing something that we enjoy that keeps us out of trouble. So I don't know why you have a problem with that, sir.
All right, look, I'm going to go talk to patients. Um, I'm going to be back in about 30 minutes. I expect the two of you to be here. I'd prefer if the four of you were here because I don't feel like going all over the damn town to try to find your two other little friends. So I don't, you're not to leave this lot. You understand me?
10-4.
Yep.
So as the turn of you,
I mean, can we go back inside?
yeah. So yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And again, all of this assumes the patient backs up your story.
Yeah, but she will. So
We're not worried, Sheriff.
Yeah, and I don't know if you've met her yet or not. I assume you have based on your story, but I'm telling you
Yeah.
right now, if you're lying to me about her and she finds out about it, I'm the least of your worries.
If you'd
You'll
like
want
me
me
to,
to, you'll want me to take you to jail, is what I'm saying.
yeah, I saw her in Edward Scissorhands. We got it.
So you head back, and Richard and Gerard, as you're going, Nick, you before Gerard opened the door, were on your knees there trying to pick the lock and just kind of chuckling to yourself because you two are there. You get there and you realize there's marks on the door that you didn't notice when you were there fiddling it. It's clear that at some point someone has used a crowbar to jam open this door. So this door was forcibly opened at some point. You can see the marks of where the crowbar was used. It causes you to look at one of the windows. You see the same thing on one of the windows with this scratch marks and the indentation that someone used a crowbar at some point to open up the front door as well as this front window. So this is going to be another clue. It's signs
Why
of
both?
forcible entry.
Did one of them fail? Were they not able to get one of them open?
Looks like both were successful based on the markings on it. At some point, this door was opened by a crowbar, and it looks like same with the window.
Why both?
Let's cut back down to Mike reading comic books. Cody trying to turn his Tecmo Bowl back on.
Yeah, at this point, Cody's just trying to listen to the commotion upstairs, and it's so far away that he probably can't make odds or ends of it.
Yeah, and the boxes there, I think, are dampening some of the sound as well, so you're not hearing anything. What are you doing, Mike?
How where was this discussion happening? Like, do we have no idea if they left the house or they are still inside? We have no idea.
You got CB radio.
Yeah, I got the walkie-talkie also.
Or walkie-talkie,
would
not
be
CB radio.
Yeah. I just to go. I'm gonna check out what's happening. Just you stay here. I'm gonna go up. And I'm taking the comic books with me. I will take the comic book.
All of them?
Yes, all of them. I found them first.
There's no way. There's no way you're gonna take that whole stack. But if you want to take a handful of them, you have room for a handful.
Yeah,
of them.
what I can.
It'll count as a clue. Yeah, you're good. You get back. I assume we're gonna move the boxes again.
Oh, do we have to move them again? Are they?
The boxes are back. That's why he didn't see you down there.
Cody, this is no joke. Look at this. I didn't do it. And neither did you because we were hiding from the.
I mean, maybe I did. I was looking through them. I don't remember where I put them when I was done.
You sure? Like,
No.
would
Are
you
they
have
sealed
blocked
again?
your way? Okay, give me a hand. We need to get out of this, but just.
Cody, you gonna help him?
Super slow.
I'm actually gonna hesitate. I'm gonna look at the camcorder and start trying to pick up all the little broken bits of that. Say, my hands are kind of full right now. I don't know how much I can help out at the moment.
So
In reality, he doesn't want to go upstairs.
okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So Mike, you start clearing the boxes.
We'll just try to clear enough so I can just squeeze through. Just do the bare minimum.
Yeah, it's gonna be like 4 boxes. I think you'll need to move and you'll be able to
So,
squeeze
right.
through. Variable weights on the 4 boxes again. You saw Cody open these things. You saw him open the tops of these boxes and you saw him pull out that photo album. Every single one of the boxes you're now moving are sealed.
And Mike will try. So, Cody, did you? Forget about it. I don't even care. Just I will continue pushing them. I want to slowly get upstairs to see what's happened.
You get to the top of the
Just
steps as we
on the
see.
stairs, like, why did we bring Cody? I don't know. He's just.
You get to the top of the stairs and you see Richard and Gerard coming in through the front door.
I will just give them.
There you guys are.
Are you kidding me?
Just stop shouting. There was a killer in the house or someone. Crazy guy.
You assholes.
You left
It was
Gerard
a
and I out
cop.
to dry.
You do not screw with cops.
You have the
Okay.
walkie-talkie. You could have told me what's happening.
How?
It's in the kitchen.
Why would you like? What's the reason to? What happened?
You heard somebody say, I need a Mike and a Cody to step out, and you think it's a killer?
I didn't hear shit. Like I was listening to Cody, like going through the boxes, and
You can hear us
and
just
I
fine
had to.
when you were down there. Okay. Not buying it. Anyway, it was a cop. He's coming back in half an hour, and you two either need to be here or you need to have already left by now. And we did not have this conversation. Maybe you went back to the house or to go to the grocery store or the gas station. I don't care.
What did he? What the cop want? I thought we were okay with with
He wanted
patients
cop
and-
shit. He's just being an asshole cop.
Okay, it's a cop. We need to come clear. But there was like guy menacingly shouting.
Yeah.
We were in a dark room, and like what? We didn't know it was a cop.
All right. Well,
Oh, okay. Cody, you can come out.
During that whole conversation, Cody was looking at the other remaining stack of the comics, looking for issues 1, 2, 3, real early stuff.
okay. So you're
Anything
you're
of
doing,
value.
yeah,
Right.
You guys are doing some light reading while we're being arrested. Sure.
So let's go ahead. Let's do another meddling move. Let's do this with reason.
Am I doing this for the
You
comics?
are.
Okay, perfect. With reason. All right.
Turn a key and make that a success with consequences. Do you want to? You only get to use them once. Just
mean,
remind
Four
you.
clues.
Let's see. Yeah, all right. I'll check off a box.
Okay, check a key for me. So that's going to be a success with consequences. You know, kind of going through and like you see an issue number 1 of Lovers in Paris, and you're like, holy shit. And you flip it open, and like the top half of the front, like the first 5 pages have been torn out. Like absolutely useless, right? So you're just, but now you know, like there could be something valuable in here if it's in better condition. As you start going through it, you get to the bottom of the stack. And in each, by the way, every one of these has these margins, these conversation that's happening in the margins of these comic books that Mike, same thing that Mike saw, different color, different handwriting. But when you get to the bottom of the stack, you realize that at the bottom of the stack is not a comic book. All of these were actually stacked on a copy of Candyland. And the weight of the comic books have really done some damage to the top of the box.
So yeah, I push the stack of comics up, and I open up Candyland just to curious if see all the components are in there. Haven't seen one of these games in a while.
Yeah, so there are components in there. You see dice. They're two different dice. So obviously, if they're one of them might be the original dice, the other one was taken from a Yahtzee or something like that. So there's a replacement on there. That's not what's odd though. I think what really stands out to you is it's been a long time since you've seen a Candyland, but you've played Candyland as a kid. You remember like the characters, the Candyland characters. I don't know if this is a special edition or what, but it's full of characters you don't remember ever seeing. There's one that's called Toffee Duke, another one called the Ravenous Sugar Pig, and it's like this pig that's got these monster teeth. Another one called Licorice Beastie, and it's like this monster made out of licorice. Another one called the Peanut Butter Sphinx, and it's like this peanut butter sculpture of a sphinx. So that's another clue for you. It's a Candyland board game featuring characters you don't remember.
What was the third one? Licorice
So you
Monster?
have the Toffee Duke, the Ravenous Sugar Pig, the Licorice Beastie, and
Beastie.
Peanut Butter Sphinx.
And it seems that you actually prepared those names. That's what's scary.
This is all thanks to Jason Cordova and team at the Gauntlet. They gave me all that stuff.
Okay.
So let's come back up to the top of the hallway. Richard, as all the yelling is going on between Gerard and Mike, you notice that the door on the left of the hall, that's a little bit farther down, not quite to where the kitchen was originally closed, but it now is slightly ajar.
I'm just going to go investigate. I'm just going to go walk up to that door. I don't think I have any reason to be concerned. I didn't deal with the boxes and stuff downstairs, so I'm more worried about the sheriff messing with us and our friends not being present when he comes back. So I'm just going to go check out the door.
So you open up the door and you shine your light in the door, and the first thing that stands out to you is the twin bed on the far wall that's got Ninja Turtle sheets on it.
I instantly blurt out, "Hell yeah!" Sorry.
And the bed was made. You see a closet closed next to it, closet door. There's a poster on the wall of Bill Nye, the science guy. You see Matchbox cars kind of scattered around the floor, almost like caltrops waiting for your bare feet. All of that looks like normal kids, 8, 9, 10-year-old kids. So this is obviously Elliot's room. I'm not quite sure how you react to it, though, but there is a faint green glow coming at the bottom of the door of the closet. Let's go to credits. We'll talk about the game on the other side. Well, that, kids, was the premiere of Public Access, something I had very high hopes for. This is one of the top nominees for me on the best new RPG that has come out in a while. I'm fascinated by this game. I wasn't sure how I was going to like juxtapose against running Brindlewood Bay, right, which has the same core mystery system and a lot of very similar mechanics to Brindlewood Bay. It's amazing to me how different this game feels from Brindlewood Bay, which I think is a credit to both Brindlewood Bay as well as Public Access. We do have a couple things game related though we need to go through real quick. The four of you take a look at your dawn moves. Did anybody hit any of their dawn moves? Go
Yeah.
ahead, Nick. What'd you hit?
So I guess my interaction with the sheriff kind of touched on both, but I don't know if I should get
Well,
credit for both.
what did you mark? And let's see if it fits.
Share a good memory and reconnect with Deep Lake, and
Oh,
so
yeah.
that
Yep.
Oh yeah.
flashback.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mark both of them.
Yeah,
Well
yeah,
done.
yeah.
Yep. So go ahead and give yourself 2 XP and unmark those.
Okay.
Anybody else?
I
Was
had
my
one, but I was not sure with the translation. It was cut loose for once, but cut loose doesn't mean like to cut loose from the group, but cut loose
No,
like
it means like get
get
crazy.
crazy. Or
Yeah.
okay. Yeah. I had a plan for that, but it didn't work out, so I have nothing.
All right. So let's go
I
ahead.
had I had a plan to reconnect too, but it would be like a off on your own scene.
Gotcha.
I know
Gotcha.
was
Didn't happen.
my was my you don't fuck around with cops chilling monologue or not.
Let's go ahead and
Oh,
unmark all your dawn moves except the first one. That always remains. So you'll mark new ones when we do episode 2. I also have 2 keys turned, I believe, don't I?
I've got one.
Yeah, Kyle's got one, and DZ. DZ, which one did you mark?
I marked a flashback showing your latchkey kid routine when you got home from school.
Let's hear it.
Well, I marked this one when I was meddling in the pool. So what I think is the reason that this flashback came to mind is that I had a friend who lived next door to me in like first and second grade who were really close, and they had a pool. I did not, but I would go hang out in their pool after school during the warm months, which I guess it's New Mexico, so that's most of them. But we had like a falling out over some supposedly stolen toy cars that we both swear the other one took because we both lost some. Stopped being friends, and from then on, like from my room on the second floor when I got home, I could see him still doing the pool, but I wasn't invited anymore, so I had to start going to the candy shop / one cabinet arcade down the street from me instead, and that's where I started watching TV Odyssey.
Excellent. Excellent. And do you still have the cars you stole?
I didn't steal them.
We'll take that as a no. All right. How about you, Kyle? Which one did you mark for Cody?
A flashback showing your latchkey kid routine when you got home from school.
Look at you guys marking that one. So let's take us back there. What's the flashback for Cody?
What I think is actually interesting about this is that this wasn't the direction I was going to take the character until I was given stuff with the corner of the house. The signed Ghostbusters #1 and the custom Crypt Keeper print. To me, that makes it feel like I probably have a history with either trading or selling high quality stuff, maybe a history in flea markets. So what I'm imagining is Cody coming home, his dad is watching football, and he kind of just sneaks by, goes into his room, and uh, has a series of comics and memorabilia that he's traded with some friends at school and stuff like that. So he's taking care of them, he's sleeving them, pricing them based on this catalog that he's got and that sort of thing. So
Excellent.
this key was checked off when I was looking at the quality of those comics. So
That's awesome. I love that. Absolutely love that. And I know this because I used to buy it at Walden Books when I was a kid as the thick comic price guide. I
yeah,
would buy it every year. You get to get the new one. You could look up your comics and see what they said they were worth that nobody would buy them for. But yeah, I could totally see Cody doing that. All right. So let's go ahead and move on then to Stars and Wishes. I'm going to start off with you, Vaslav. stars, and just by this is the Gauntlet episode because this game comes from the Gauntlet, and me loving to use stars and wishes also comes from the Gauntlet as well. That's where I came across it first. Stars is when each of the players gets to talk about what worked for them. What was a moment, an interaction, maybe another player that really like stood out. What was a star moment for them? Wishes is when the player says, I'm really wishing this will happen more, or this didn't happen. I'd like to see it happen. Something that the player would like to see in a future session or episode. So let's start with star or stars. Vasla, what was the star or stars for you?
I would, since I'm first, I can go the easy way because we usually the first session is real tough. And when this first session was after our experience with Mothership, and we know
Yeah.
each other a little bit, how everybody played off each other, and I think that is rare to happen like for the whole group. But also the things that you prompted us to describe the scene, right? But even in the other places, like when one person did that, the other one jumped in, and we kind of knew the rhythm from when we played before. So that's what I really loved and enjoyed about this game, because that's for me what the storytelling is all about. And I'm including even you, not just the players. Everybody did their part when we were building the story. So
I
that's what I love.
I love it, and we did this with Mothership too, and I'm lucky because most of the cast, and all of my cast do this, is everybody just leans in and says, "Let's play," right? And just knows that we can making those moments, and just being. It's not even brave. It's just like this is what we're doing. We're playing a role playing game, so let's play. And you guys all of you just leaned right in and did it, especially considering you'd never played this game before. I mean, even for you, Kyle, like this is first time even coming close to a Power by the Apocalypse game, so it's a totally different thing. So I agree. Also, how about a wish or wishes? What are you wishing for?
So usually I did wishes based on the story, what I wished in the story would happen. Now I would focus more on mechanic. I wish we had more place to put our what you call them, the dawn questions in,
Yeah.
because I had a few ideas how to do the. I felt like DZ had one as well, and I felt I didn't have place to fit that in because either I would break the flow of the game or it was not fitting the idea I had, for example.
Yeah, and you'll notice the XP track fills up pretty quick, right? So don't feel bad if you don't hit these dawn questions. But I will also tell you, GMing this as a style is a little bit different than other games, and this is true of Brindlewood Bay and of public access, which is I will end a scene, right? I will control the pace a lot more in these games than in other games, and I wasn't sure why that was so explicit in these games where it talks about like you as the keeper, you need to end a scene when a scene needs to end. You need to move them. You need to not. We're not going to do travel. We're just like, did you guys get here by car? Did you guys walk here? It doesn't freaking matter. Just cut people to the next scene, almost episodic like a TV show. But what's important for you guys as players then is that don't be afraid to put your foot in the door when I'm doing that and go, wait a second, Craig, there's something else I want to do and things like that, which you guys kind of did. And you know that. And the same thing, don't feel guilty about invoking moves. Like we know mechanically, if I start poking around, start asking questions, you can get a meddling move. And this is just to help us, but like you had the sheriff there starting asking the sheriff questions about the town or stuff like that. That'll trigger a meddling move, and that's the key to this game. So you guys are there to figure shit out. Don't be afraid to metagame it a little bit and bait me into these moves, into a meddling move, because that's the secret to the game. How about for you, Kyle? Stars and wishes. Well, first of all, just overall thoughts, having never played anything like this before.
Yeah, it's a lot smoother than I anticipated. I did kind of walk into this not fully prepared, which is unique for me. Usually I over prepare, so it was thanks to the group, especially. It was just walk in the park, just knowing these guys, knowing how they role played, that made it really easy. But as far as stars, there's two moments for me, both involving the sheriff. But um, I gotta say, Nick's way of including his arcade and the cousins, I thought was really smart.
Good.
Perfect
And
example of getting that dawn move, that dawn choice in. Yep.
Yeah, I just love that that just felt so natural because the town is so small. And
Uh,
I gotta say, DZ's interaction with the police officer, like the immediately on edge, nervous, whatever you do, sir, was fantastic. And yeah,
I think the police officer might be Gerard's type, so that was not helping.
He's a handsome son of a bitch.
A little bit.
A little flustered there, Gerard.
Yeah.
It's funny in the game, they give you little blurbs, on each of these characters. When I say blurb, I mean literally like a short paragraph and then a quote to kind of give you the feel for the character, but it's left wide open for you. But it's very explicit. Like, he is exceedingly handsome. It's very explicit in the description of it, which I think is fun. All right, so how about wishes, Kyle? What are you wishing for in the next episode or so?
I wish we never see Patience again. I was that character was just immediately unnerving. I would not be upset if she just disappeared.
You're more scared of her than me.
Yes, yeah.
Well, the good news is Mike has the affection of Patience, so you guys will be fine. No way would that ever work against him. All right, how about you, Nick? Stars and wishes.
Stars got to go to Voslav. That moment with Patience where we all kind of went, "What the frick do we do? Like, how do we handle this brash woman up our grill?" And I loved how it was kind of like, "Oh, throw it on the CIA joke thing onto Kyle," and then it was like, "No,
that's not gonna work."
And then Voslav just he got Mike going and got the role playing really kicked off, I believe, in that manner, because it totally turned the situation into this lovey-dovey like thing that worked story wise, that got her away from us as soon as possible. It allowed us to stay there, which was great. And then to double that is the walkie-talkie thing that you did, Vaslav. The way you described how to use it totally shows your personality, and I loved it. I ate it up. So I great job on that today.
By the way, I was expecting your joke, but I
still hit.
Yeah,
it still landed.
Rough one.
All right, how about wishes, Nick?
Wishes. I want the horror, creepy stuff to start ramping up on my character. I'm excited to see my character interact with this stuff. So,
all right. Last but not least, EZ. Stars and wishes.
Yeah, God, I've adapted what I wanted to say for my star, listening to everybody else, because everybody is really great, and it's a great group to get back together with and play something loosey goosey where we can just play off of each other.
Yeah.
I think specifically, I love the non-functioning ghost equipment that Cody brought, and like it's still unclear to me if he thinks it works or not up until the end, I guess, when it actually did possibly work.
Right.
Or maybe
does that change or validate him? And he's never seen a green light.
Yeah. Like, he's both a bullshitter and an enthusiast, in that he lies about having already caught ghosts, but he does believe he's going to. So I think that came across perfectly.
I agree.
But yeah, like everybody just doing a good job of like having these interactions. I hope that we have an equivalent for everybody. With the CIA agent thing might work with some people. The investigator blogger might work with some people. We need to figure out what Nick and I have that might come in handy.
The cop bullshitter is what we're doing.
Yeah, I guess.
And how about wishes, DZ?
Yeah, echoing the like opportunities to really pursue the Dawn question. And like, this is the first session, so I didn't want to be like overly aggressive in like pushing for scenes and stuff. Like, I had an idea of like a scene that I could do to reconnect with Deep Lake, but like I wasn't sure coming in if like there were going to be open-ended scenes where like what are you doing right now, or we cut straight to like we're going to investigate this thing. I think this was probably the better choice of the two, but I know that like during the night phase we have an opportunity to either watch an Odyssey tape or we can go do our own thing. That could be a time to do that. But yeah, we don't need to like dive into all of the personal stuff right away. There's time for that.
Yeah, there's definitely time for that. But like I mentioned before, there's two sides to this Dawn question thing, which is it's okay if you don't hit any of them, right? Because you don't want to derail the game to try to get an XP. But at the same time, don't be afraid to fight for one either, right? To inject it in there. And you'll know, you guys are smart role players. You'll know which way to go.
Yeah, like my scene, I wasn't sure if it was something like I can present a scene and then you'll I mean, I'm sure you could find a way to like pass us clues through the scene, or if it'd just be better to get to, you know, the main thing, and then we can always touch on that later.
And it's going to take a little bit of time too for the 5 of us to figure the game out too, right? So the rhythm that we saw we might 3 episodes later have a totally different rhythm. So yeah, no question, no question. All right, guys. Awesome. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe, all that bullshit, so you can keep track of everything and know when episode 2 is going to come out. We can figure out what the hell's going on in that closet. I do know I've got some plugs though. Let's start off with Mr. Kyle. Kyle, anything going on that you're excited about?
Yeah. So September 19th, we are launching a Kickstarter for Vagrant Song Encore and Off the Rails. Pretty stoked about that. Sign up, get notified, all that jazz.
Yeah, great game, Vagrant Song, great board game, spooky. It's got the the spooky feel to it, more folklorish, but still fits it. My big question, and we covered it in the interview that'll be released, but I think it's important to mention here. People will be able to get a copy of the base game through the Kickstarter as well, right? That'll be one of
Yeah,
the options.
and everything that we've already released too.
Perfect.
So
Perfect. Anybody else want to do a shout out or a plug?
It might be on the early side, but I am developing a video game that I've been working on for 6 months or so. It's a horror game and it's story driven. I'm going to be releasing a demo for it first. I've got all of my voice actors cast at this point, so I'm excited to be releasing more about that.
Very cool.
Nice.
Very cool. Boss Love, Nick, anything?
Support your content creators.
God bless you. All right. Love you guys. Mean it. See you in a couple.
Thank you, Craig.
Howdy friends, thank you for watching. All our content is archived and organized in playlists on the Third Floor Wars YouTube channel. Check it out. And if you could like, follow, subscribe, and even set your notifications to this channel on YouTube and Twitch, we'd appreciate it, and it'll make sure that you catch all of our content. I talk with creators, designers, and experts across the gaming landscape in every episode of our podcast, Tabletop Talk. Open up your favorite podcatcher and search for Tabletop Talk from Third Floor Wars. Support your creators. They make the content you love, and it's your support that makes it happen. If you want to help us, go to Third Floor Wars on patreon.com, and you can help us for as little as $1 a month. Thanks again. We'll see you next time. Take care.